us were wrong. That's the point of the show. With you on Free Talk Live, you've got me, Bonnie.
Angelo.
And Richie Rich.
And it is the last show of the year, so if you're watching the streams and you see what's on our heads, we have Happy New Year on our heads. We have, headbands. There we go. We have Happy New Year headbands that kind of jiggle on our heads.
They jiggle? Do I have to wiggle?
Yeah, they
Do
have
the
like a
wiggle waggle?
spring. Yours isn't as jiggly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's the exact noise they would make. So, just some random things in the news going on. If anybody has anything to say about them, Russia is saying European troops in Ukraine are legitimate targets, which surprises me in a way that it feels like it would always be a legitimate target, right? Like, to me.
No, because I think some of them, I think there was like European...
like a base?
Not bases. I'm trying to think advisors. There was like troops and advisory
Diplomats?
roles. Not really. Kind of like training people, I guess.
Okay.
Or like advising, telling the Ukrainian officers how to train the Ukrainian soldiers.
This is how you use American weapon.
Yeah, pretty much. Or like this is how you use the, like, we got to show you, we're going to give you like these missiles. You got to know how to launch them, right? So I guess like an advisory role.
Okay.
I didn't think there were any European combatants. Like there's no like mobilized.
I honestly haven't paid that much attention to it.
Outside of like special operations.
But there are all these people in different countries saying like, "Oh, I signed up to go fight." Like,
yeah,
right?
there's like a Ukrainian Foreign Legion kind of thing going on.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They're not fighting, or what are they doing?
But they're not wearing a French flag. They're wearing the Ukrainian flag. Does that make sense? Like they're fighting for the Ukrainian
I don't know if it
army?
matters.
Was Europe only sending weapons? They weren't sending troops to assist with the...
But there were all these people in different countries like, "Oh, I wanted to go fight."
Yeah, but I think they're going on like their own volition. They're not being like sent by, like, France hasn't declared war on Russia and mobilized a bunch of French troops with French arms. But if you're like a French guy, there's nothing stopping you from traveling to Ukraine. And
I think all of them put on Ukraine
up.
outfits. I don't know if that changes anything. Like I guess we can read a little bit of this. Trump has warned of one or two thorny issues as he concludes peace talks with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky on Sunday.
Peace talks.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
The U.S. president
Just give it up, Vlad. We're tired of this. I promised people in January I'd end the fighting already. You just keep prolonging it.
So this was Sunday today, or how old is this?
It must be today. It's literally the top thing on Drudge, but I didn't see that.
Well, you said talk Sunday, and today's Sunday. So
I think they usually do that. They usually will say Sunday because it's like you read it tomorrow too,
and
they don't have to edit it and say
it's
today.
For posterity.
Yeah. So. It says that he says that they're could be very close to agreeing, Zelensky and the other one, Putin, on a 20-point peace deal. I don't know what the point. Does the point mean like steps or something?
Yeah, probably like outlined. Here's 20 points that have to be met, like bulletin
or
like
agreements.
Bullet marks.
Sounds right. It says
point number 1: you remove all your troops and give back Crimea.
Zelensky told reporters security guarantees between the U.S. and Ukraine had been 100% agreed, and that guarantees between the U.S., Europe, and Ukraine were almost agreed. Trump said he spoke to Russian leader Vladimir Putin, ahead of the meeting. A Kremlin spokesperson said both Trump and Putin did not want a temporary ceasefire ahead of any agreement. So Trump doesn't want it? That's a little weird. Like, I just don't want that. And urged Ukraine to make a decision over the contested. Oh, maybe it's like a way to be like, you gotta make a decision, or more people.
Yeah,
die.
like forget a ceasefire. I don't know if he like a ceasefire and like the war ends, or just we quit shooting at each other for right now.
No, it's a ceasefire. The war's not over, but you give yourself like a 2-week ceasefire to do the diplomatic thing, and then if that falls through, you like start shooting again.
So it says. The main thing I wanted to get from this article, it says, it comes as Moscow warned that any European troop contingents deployed to Ukraine would become legitimate targets for Russia's armed forces in comments published by Russia's state news agency, TASS. I didn't know about TASS. I only know about Russia Today. So, yeah, okay. I guess we still would just be speculating on what that means. Because honestly, in my head, I thought people in Russia or in any country were like signing up to go and fighting and probably dying.
But like Putin doesn't know.
Google that.
Like if they're wearing the Ukrainian uniform, how does he know if they're European like soldiers? He would just assume that they're Ukrainian fighters, wouldn't he?
Or maybe
like,
during recon, you find out who's doing what where.
Yeah, you're gonna go like look through everybody's photos and be like, we can't shoot that guy. He's technically a European. I
No,
think
with the
they've all
super
been
camera
doing
from the drone, man.
this. Maybe. Well,
Or,
I mean, you have to,
like an agent on the ground.
Why would he be saying that unless...
Well, I think he's talking about the attached troops that are teaching the Ukrainians how to use the weapons.
Or as a threat so that they remove their troops, right? If you're France or England or whomever and you're helping out the Ukraine people and you go like, well, we don't want English citizens to die. You withdraw those troops. You leave the Ukrainians to fight on their own. They don't come to a peace deal. Russia obliterates them and the war is over militarily.
It's really confusing, honestly. It's like, this is just like, oh, what a tiny little... I mean, it's not a very informative article is what I'm trying to say. I Googled, do European contingents,
Yeah.
because that's what they called it, fight in Ukrainian uniforms? They said, yes, foreign volunteers from Europe and elsewhere join Ukraine's fight, often fighting in Ukrainian uniforms. So
Cannon
are they
fodder.
sometimes not? Yeah, whatever. I mean, it's a little kind of like... semantic, but also it's like that's the main point of this article, so I wanted to know what it meant.
I would also suggest, to reiterate Angelo's point, right? There's a difference between the UK or France or European countries sending troops to fight under the European banner, right? And European citizens going over there to fight under the Ukrainian banner, right? That would be the distinction trying to be made. So if France sends troops over to fight under the French banner, that's now fair game, whereas a French citizen fighting under the Ukrainian banner has always been fair game because they chose to be there voluntarily.
It's really confusing. I wrote, do some European contingents fight in Ukraine with different uniforms? Yes, foreign fighters, including Europeans in Ukraine, often wear varied uniforms, sometimes standard Ukrainian gear, Western donated kits, or even mismatched modified gear, while Russian forces sometimes use Ukrainian uniforms for infiltration.
There you go.
Whoa, I never even thought about if that was against like war laws, you know what I mean? Like, is that a war? I never thought about that. Like, that seems
Espionage? No,
bad.
I don't think so. That seems like
just
standard fare.
We're going to wear your uniform and trick you and then...
Yeah.
I don't know. I just never thought about it. Making armbands like blue and yellow for Ukraine. Imagine somebody comes up and they have a like, blue and yellow Ukraine armband. You're like, oh, good, you're on my side. And then they shoot you in the face. That sucks.
Yeah. I think Americans learned that lesson well with the redcoats. Right? Oh, look, they're wearing bright red to the battlefield. Aim at those guys. Whereas if you were wearing something like non-distinct... And you're like, oh man, that's just dude at a bar.
But did Americans use red coats in order to trick the redcoats?
They should have. If they didn't, they should have.
That might be a thing, and I just didn't know about it.
Or it's foolish.
I never thought about
depends where you're at, right? Because if you do that, you're going to get shot at by Americans.
Yeah, I feel like in the line formations like that, and especially with like the fog of war with like, black powder guns, I would not want to be. I feel like that's just a way to get shot.
But walking through town.
That's a whole different thing. That's maybe if you're like trying to get through like a blockade,
or just trying to pick up on information, right? If you're doing espionage.
Well, yeah, you could do that, but you're not moving like you're not moving 300 men in espionage.
Troop, what are you doing here?
Yeah, a whole troop.
Right. Get back to the front. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like no, you're like one or two guys on a secret mission, right? And you wear the uniform of the enemy so that they suspect nothing. Right, and then you hold up three fingers the wrong way, and you get shot in a bar.
Well,
sorry,
niche. I got it. Okay, I caught it.
All right.
Oh, from that movie, yeah, I've seen it. Another thing that's just in the news, not a lot to say about it, is that Brigitte Bardot died at 91. Honestly, I would have thought she was dead.
Who?
Do you know who that is? You don't? Even you? Sorry, I dropped a camera. Sorry, streams.
No. I don't. Which one am I looking at?
Idea.
Oh, okay. I can see. She was hot back in the day.
She's so beautiful, and apparently she was alive, and she was 91, and she just died today or yesterday. But I didn't know about that. I honestly would have thought she'd be dead. Honestly,
I recognize the name, but I would never put a face to it.
She was French, I want to say.
Okay.
I mean, the last name is definitely
Sounds French.
Yeah, but it says the pouty, tousle-haired French actress who redefined mid-20th century movie sex symbolism.
That camera's foobarred down there.
Oh my god, we'll fix it on the break. Yeah, sorry everyone.
It fell off the tripod, the plug's undone, it's in three pieces.
And there's no way for me to be like, oh, I'm going to take that one off for and just like use
the
other one.
I was going to try and fish it up, but no,
whatever
not
it sees,
happening.
oh my god, it just looks at the ground or something. I see it right now.
That's a frozen image then, because it's not hooked up.
Oh, really? Okay.
Unless there's a battery in there.
Another thing in the news is that Republicans behind Epstein Files Act, like the ones that were actually pro releasing the Epstein files, respond to Trump's low-life taunt. So basically, the main reason I wanted to talk about it for a little bit is that it's Thomas Massie. Thomas Massie used the president's insult to raise funds to run against a Trump-endorsed candidate. So he is finally fighting back, because I don't think we even really talked about it on the show, but it was a big thing on Twitter. Trump was like calling out Thomas Massie in a horrible way, even insinuating like he cheated on his wife and stuff, like being horrible to Thomas Massie, all because Thomas Massie didn't want to pass some stupid bill of his. I don't remember if it was the big beautiful bill.
Because Thomas Massie votes his conscience and doesn't vote party lines.
Yeah, and he'll vote no on things that the president doesn't want him to, and if it's just
he's
something
not a
like,
real Republican. He doesn't do what I tell him to do.
Exactly. So it's ridiculous, and it was really messed up, and it was like it was one of the first things that started making even people on his side be like, "Hold up, Trump, you're like being really crappy right now." And then the fact he wasn't releasing the Epstein files, and now that they're like out there, but they're not really.
So I put this in the host group, but I don't know if either of you took a look at it or if it's been covered on the show. They've unredacted a whole bunch of the Epstein files.
And they dropped a bunch, but did they redacted a ton of it. Did they unredact the drop?
Hackers unredacted the drop.
Oh, yeah, because you could just copy and paste it.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
I knew about that.
Okay. But did we cover it on the show was my question.
Oh, no.
No,
I've seen a lot of pictures, though. I don't know if they're photoshopped.
I haven't
looked at the real ones,
Okay.
but I've just seen tweets, and it'll be like Epstein...
Right. Well,
like
there's
half naked in bed, and there's like a toddler's leg sticking out.
I saw that,
on
and
a
I didn't
couch.
think it was a toddler.
There's a link
I
in the
genuinely
host
thought
group
that was like
to
a skinny woman.
a folder
Really?
with the unredacted files.
In my opinion.
If you want to see, instead of just a post here and there, a bunch of it, someone put it on a website, and I linked to the website in the host chat.
Did you guys see? This isn't really show prep, but I thought this was hilarious. Like young people are taking pictures where there's like this picture with Epstein, like sitting and looking like he's kind of like doing maybe wheeling and dealing on a private jet, and young people are like photoshopping themselves in, and it's like become a trend, like photoshopping yourself into the Epstein files in the private jet picture.
Seems like a bad idea, but all right.
That's hilarious.
It was cracking me up. But we do have a caller on the line, so I'm gonna go to Turd Ferguson in Pennsylvania. You're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Well, nothing. There's no better way to enjoy my birthday today other than a hot tub in my birthday suit.
Wow,
with no hot chicks.
Your birthday is
no better way. He's alone, naked in a hot tub.
Gypsy Rose's daughter's birthday, the day Gypsy Rose got out of prison, and Childermas, which is the day that they celebrate like King Herod going after baby Jesus, or celebrate, but you know what I mean. They remember it or whatever. I don't know if
His
that's
neighbor's
Jewish.
quinceañera.
That's definitely not Jewish.
That'd be kind of messed up, wouldn't it?
Maybe that makes me the Antichrist. I don't know. I hope not.
Uh-oh.
Have you checked your naked body for marks of the beast?
No.
Do you have a 666 swirl in your head?
Well, a good time with a succubus actually sounds not too bad right about now. Maybe getting my soul sucked out would be worth the best lay of my lifetime. Who am I to say? That's
sound like
question
synonyms.
for the ages for the philosophizers.
It says Childermas, or the Feast of Holy Innocents, falls on December 28th, commemorating the biblical massacre of male infants in Bethlehem, ordered by King Herod to kill the baby Jesus, marking these children as the first martyrs. So it must be Catholic, is what it is.
Yeah, it's definitely not Jewish. When you
Yeah,
said,
messed up. Yeah, I was like, they celebrated it.
Yeah, they celebrate King Herod.
And you can eat them in any state but Idaho, so
Ew.
have at it.
Well, happy
There's nothing
birthday,
more
Turd.
ridiculous.
Yeah, happy birthday, Turd. Sorry.
Thank
had
you.
to
I
make-
appreciate that.
Jokes. I always have to think in my head, like, whose else's birthday is it? And that's what popped up.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, there's probably a lot of pretty interesting people that were born today. On a side note, I think Catholicism is the biggest joke in the world, basically. I mean, there's nothing more pathetic and stupid than Catholicism, in my humble opinion.
I wish you could come on, I guess it's tomorrow, Monday, to the debate that's going to happen in Independence Inn. Have you heard about this? Is that what you rolled your eyes?
Yeah, I rolled my eyes.
Because I'm interested in going. I'm always interested in going to the debates Free Staters do, and I've never made it to one. I actually started driving to one. I was like, it was too late, and I turned around once. That was the Jeremy Kaufman versus Dennis Pratt, is racism like not allowed in libertarianism? You know,
That's a more poignant debate than the one that's upcoming.
yeah, the one that's upcoming is, and I really want to vote no, but I would try to be as, you know, like if I went there and I got convinced, I'd vote yes, whatever. But the question is,
Well, the
is it
statement,
possible?
the statement
Okay.
is,
The statement is you have to have a majority Christianity in order to have a libertarian society
for 100 years.
over 100 years.
In order to sustain a libertarian society for 100 years, the majority of individuals must be Christian.
What do you think about that, Turd?
I don't know. That's a pretty absurd question. I mean, you got to think like that's so speculative. I mean, you got to think 100 years into the future.
Well, that's
First
why
of all,
they're
nobody
debating it,
thinks
turd.
on it.
Someone's going to
Yeah,
say,
that's
like,
the
this is why, and then the other side's
Well,
going to say, like,
you
this is
can-
why this is
Well,
dumb.
look, you can. It is okay to debate things where you can use objective fact to debate them. Now, maybe that's just maybe I'm just so used to using leftists and debate. You know, debates have just become so easy because their heads aren't even in the real world. So maybe that's my problem. But like, it's okay to debate objective things. And by the way, I think if you debate objective things and you bring in the people that are dumb to debate against, that's how you're going to win and change most people's minds. Because for example, the more foolish you can make Sam Cedar look, for an example, in a debate, the more minds you're going to change. And, you know, that's been happening a lot.
Yeah,
lately.
unfortunately, libertarians put up Daryl W. Perry against Sam Cedar, and we're set back 5 to 10 years.
Why is
Well, Richie,
Daryl a
I
bad
know you and I-
debater?
If you listen to that thing objectively,
I've never listened.
okay, well, do yourself a favor and don't. But Sam Cedar tore him
Richie
apart,
Rich.
got Daryl all fired up and flustered, and
Oh no!
just made him look dumb.
I always
Yeah, I
thought Daryl was like supposedly a good speaker. I never listened to any of his Free Talk Live episodes. I really don't.
I don't know
think
how many
did, but-
concussions he was in at this point then, but it was not good.
Is
for
he a
our side.
fighter?
It was
Daryl-
He was on
No.
this show,
And
Oh.
then,
Ex-football player.
Oh
Was he?
yeah, I
Oh,
mean, I
yeah.
get that. Yeah.
and then I don't know. He had other concussions. Like he actually stepped on a rake.
Yeah.
that went up and hit his face like
That
a
was like-
Looney Tune episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that one like put him out of commission. He was disabled after that one.
I'm not trying to make fun of him. I'm just like I never
that was
knew
like
that was
the
a real
mid
thing.
20s.
Oh yeah, that was it. My
Oh, no,
grandpa
you
would
could
always
totally-
yell at me, like, make sure you put the
totally
rake
make
down.
fun.
Oh really?
Right.
No one's ever told me that as if it was a real.
But Daryl was like
Danger.
24 concussions in at that point, stepped on a rake, and then permanently disabled himself.
Sounds so mean. I'm not trying to be
Well,
mean. He's Ian's
you can-
very good friend.
No, I don't care about Ian's friend. Daryl W. Perry deserves to be made fun of.
Why?
And Bonnie, you're absolutely right to criticize that moron.
I didn't criticize him. You're like, you're right. You hate him.
Oh,
He
No.
cartoonishly
it's
stepped
okay.
on a rake and permanently disabled himself.
I'm just shocked that's real.
Yeah, well, you have to be a serious like cartoon character to do something like that. And in fact, Daryl W. Perry does have the IQ level of like Tom from Tom and Jerry.
I honestly thought everyone liked him on the show. Seriously, it feels like people like that era. Like,
Oh yeah, no, he's good on the radio.
okay.
But because on the
Yeah,
radio it's not a real debate,
Oh, yeah.
right? And you can yell at people
on
and
the
cut them
radio.
off.
Does he? 'Cause basically,
Does he
every
do that?
single person that I've come in contact with and talked to about Daryl W. Perry all say the same thing about him, and that he's a moron. Every single person I've met says that about Daryl W. Perry. And and by the way, that's one of the moments. I think that was back in 2016, if I remember correctly. But that's one of the moments where I like kind of stopped taking the Libertarian Party seriously. I've
With
been a
the Sam
lifelong
Cedar
libertarian.
thing,
Because
or
of the person you already don't agree with, that makes no sense.
Well, it's not that I didn't agree with him. At the time I probably agree with him on a lot, but he was just so disingenuous and so idiotic, talking about making toast in a toaster on the Libertarian debate stage. Like, nobody cares, Daryl. Just shut your mouth. You sound like a freaking moron.
well, I think he still has the domain toasterlicense.com or something to that effect. So if you want to get your
Yeah, that's all the evidence you need to know that he's a complete idiot. And Daryl W. Perry is a disgrace to everybody. And by the way, I actually thoroughly enjoyed watching Sam Cedar destroy Daryl W. Perry. I got a good chuckle out of it, quite
Is he a
frankly.
complete idiot though? I mean,
Yes.
you're making fun of the toaster
What makes you-
license.
hold on.
Well,
Hold
hold
on a
on.
second.
You
What
hold
makes you
on.
think-
You're
what
making
makes
fun
you
of the
think Daryl
toaster
W.
license,
Perry
but
is
in like
smart?
Britain, they have a television license. It's just another appliance in the house.
That's true.
Well, first of all, I'm gonna have to take your word for it on that because I don't know if that's true.
No,
So I'm
Bonnie
gonna-
just confirmed
It
it.
is true. They
But-
just like typically
but
don't
even-
enforce it, but sometimes they do.
Okay, even if it is true, you can't eat anything with a TV. A toaster you can eat stuff with.
But it's still an
And so
appliance in the
that
house
already
that the
makes
government
it
could license at some point,
Yeah, but
should they want
but
to.
one of them you need to cook food, and the other one you don't.
One of
So that
them you
immediately makes
dang
it way
near
more
needed
idiotic.
in society only like 10 years ago.
I think the TV is more important than the toaster. TV feeds you
I
propaganda.
disagree. I've got my phone. I don't.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
like
need
20
propaganda.
years ago, your phone was less important and the TV was more.
Well, I think the only thing I watched on TV 20 years ago was probably Degrassi. And by the way, even if I did actually still watch that show, it would only be for Manny, the young Hispanic chick that always had her thong hanging out. Which
Told
Maybe-
you, continue.
I thought it was going to be for Drake.
I thought she was Indian.
No, I think she might be Filipino. Well, she played a Hispanic chick on the show, but I think she's actually Filipino or something. She's a very sexy woman. I mean, of course, I liked her better when she was younger and more fertile, if you
We
know what
know.
I mean. But she's
We
still
know.
really hot.
I mean, she was probably
I follow her.
19, 20 doing the show anyways. Don't they usually use it?
I
Don't
think
left
she's
turd
younger
off
than
the
me.
hook.
That makes it. Well, when she first started wearing a thong,
She's
that makes her
Filipina and
14.
English. Wow. Wow.
Okay.
I don't know why I said
Yeah.
that. It's just like
wow.
I was right more than you. There we go. I was more correct than you. I was closer.
All right.
But,
No.
I mean, I would say,
Well,
what,
Bonnie-
isn't Filipino almost a kind of Hispanic though?
I don't know if the Hispanics really went
No.
like stayed there a lot, but they took over and gave it like the name of the peso. Like they actually use
The,
pesos,
Phili-
and then they have a lot
Philip-
of
the
Hispanic last
Philippines-
names.
the Filipinos
like South
are one of
Asian.
the lost tribes of Mexico.
Yeah, but the Spanish took it over.
Yeah, but were they
Wouldn't
actually
be,
there?
Wouldn't that make them from the Spanish, right?
Well, Hispanic just means Spanish speaking. So,
Yeah.
okay.
I googled, are
Well, I guess Tagalog
Filipinos
isn't
partially Spanish in blood? And it says many Filipinos have some Spanish ancestry, but it's generally a small percentage, around 2 to 5% of the general population. Yeah, I really don't think so. I think I'm just right. It doesn't matter, Toad. If you have more to say, I kind of
LBFM.
I kind of took over your topic there. More Free Talk Live coming up, 603-283-6160. It's Free Talk Live. You can call in and bring up whatever's on your mind clearly. 603-283-6160. It's Free Talk Live. More coming up.
Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what the readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. freedomsphoenix.com, constantly providing the information, the real news about government policies, and the real relationship we all have with the coercive government. The real condition of the economy, innovations in technology, breakthroughs in energy, health, and computer science. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media. The corporate media, nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but now there's an alternative. freedomsphoenix.com. Constant news updates on the issues that affect your life in the most important ways. With liberty and property under constant attack, freedomsphoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda, and it encourages the participation of its readers. Go to freedomsphoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, phoenix.com. freedomsphoenix.com. The revolution between the ears has already happened.
From Feature Story News in San Francisco, I'm Ira Spitzer with a look back at some of the week's top stories. The United States launched airstrikes against ISIS in the north of Nigeria on Christmas Day. U.S. President Donald Trump said they were to send a message to insurgents in the country who he claims are persecuting Christians. FSN's Jagruti Dave has more from Washington.
Donald Trump has been threatening military intervention in Nigeria for some time, and this was the justification he gave for these strikes, which he described as deadly in a social media post. He said ISIS terrorist scum have been targeting and viciously killing primarily innocent Christians. He added, "Merry Christmas to all, including the dead terrorists, of which there will be many more if their slaughter of Christians continues." US Africa Command said their initial assessment is that multiple ISIS terrorists were killed in ISIS camps. The strikes were coordinated with the Nigerian government, whose foreign minister said they shared intelligence with the US.
India and Bangladesh summoned each other's envoys over protests outside their diplomatic missions as already tense ties spiral. The latest round of formal protests come after right-wing groups staged protests in several Indian cities over the killing of a Hindu garment worker in Bangladesh over allegations of blasphemy. FSN's Kshitij Nagar has more from New Delhi.
The summoning of the Indian High Commissioner by Bangladesh is the second such instance in as many days. Bangladeshi officials raised objections over protests and what they describe as a failure to curb demonstrations and targeting its diplomatic missions. The High Commission in Delhi remains under heavy police deployment, with security tightened and police forces deployed. The killing of a Hindu man in northern Bangladesh earlier in the month triggered public anger in India and sharpened concerns over minority safety. Indian authorities say they are closely tracking developments. The escalation comes amid broader political uncertainty in Bangladesh following the ouster of former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina earlier this year.
U.S. President Trump announced a new type of battleship set to be used by the U.S. Navy, and it is one named after himself. FSN's Mitch McCann reports.
Standing beside the Defense Secretary and the Secretary of State, Donald Trump announced that the US will build 2 new Trump-class battleships. Mr. Trump told reporters on Monday he is calling them the Golden Fleet and said eventually there'll be 25 of them. Mr. Trump said the new ships will have 100 times the force and power of any other battleship ever built, adding there will be nothing else like them. The president said that the US has not built a battleship since 1994 and said each one will be the largest in the history of the world. He said they will command respect, but added that the world already respects America.
From Bureaus Worldwide, this is FSN.
Our Matrix server is about as free as internet chat can be. Join the existing rooms or create your own at chat.freetalklive.com.
It's Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control, in 603-283-6160 is the phone number. We have callers online now, but there's still room for you. 603-283-6160. Get your last call of the year in. 603-283-6160. And I'd like to thank Ken for being an amplifier with us. Last amplifier shout out of the year, too. That means that Ken went to amps.freetalklive.com and signed up to support the show. AMPS stands for Advertise, Market, Promote, and Support. Thanks to Ken and everyone who supports us. And again, that's amps.freetalklive.com if you'd like to check out the perks and benefits of becoming an amplifier. That's amps.freetalklive.com. I also said perks.freetalklive.com just now.
It's like you do this so often, you have to reference the page for the website?
I never have, honestly, but for something just happened. I just had to unmute you guys.
Brain freeze.
Brain fart. There we go.
Yeah.
So with you on Free Talk Live, we've got me, Bonnie.
Angelo.
And Richie Rich.
And I think that Turd Ferguson still had more to say because he didn't really finish his last things he was talking about, because I started Googling what ethnicity is that girl. I always thought she was Indian. She was Filipina and white, which equals Indian.
Well, she's a goddess. I really like her. I follow her on Instagram still. But I was going to say before.
What about Bridget Bardot? Was she hot in her youth?
I don't know who that is.
Really? She's really beautiful.
We just talked about it.
Bridget Bardot is so beautiful. I think this lady Cassie Steele, who played, you said Manny on Degrassi, which is a crazy name, is really beautiful too. She kind of looks like a skinnier version of a Vanessa Hudgens.
It's a problem with watching old movies. You get a crush on an old chick.
I liked Vanessa Hudgens when she was young. I loved her in Spring Breakers. Yeah, she had a banging little body, really sexy. But I was going to say though before the break.
Not that she wasn't skinny. I don't know. Maybe this lady's face is skinnier. Anyways, what were you actually calling about?
Well, I can't remember exactly what I was calling out, but I was going to say in regards to what you were talking about before the break. Thomas Massie. I like Thomas Massie and Rand Paul way more than Donald Trump. Just endlessly more than Donald Trump. But I got to say, though, Donald Trump's insult at Thomas Massie, that was hilarious.
Which one?
He was like, oh, wow, look, Thomas Massie's getting remarried already. That was quick.
That's messed up. That was so...
that was very funny.
Non-classy. Trump is
not the classiest person.
He's not.
It was very Trumpian, and I thought that was very funny.
I'm not saying he was cheating, but it's kind of obvious he was.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what he was being messed up.
Yeah, I mean, look, come on, that was funny. Like,
It's not to me.
Thomas Massey.
It's one thing if
I
like they
thought
just
it
broke up, but his wife died.
Yeah, I know. It was really
What's an
sad.
appropriate
I feel
length of
bad.
time to wait before your spouse dies before you can?
Yeah, well,
Your own
that's the question,
spouse?
isn't
Yeah.
Wow, I don't really know.
Do you have kids?
it? Infinity years.
Does
Nothing
that
will
factor
ever
in?
be
I
funny
think
again.
maybe.
How
Okay.
many years after, or months, or days after your spouse dies, you get to go on stage with pyrotechnics, wearing sequin jumpsuits, fist pumping?
You really found out at the
Well,
funeral, though,
apparently
especially if
just
you're a
two.
dude. All the chicks are like
Apparently
coming up to
between two
console
and
you,
seven.
like, oh, yeah, it's been a long time.
Wow, that's
Well,
crazy.
She was
how
sick
many
for
days
so
do you
long, there was no intimacy, and then bam, you're in bed.
Well, how many days do you have to wait before you're able to start dating someone after your wife dies?
That's what I'm
Thomas
saying.
Massey did
He
it
got-
within a year.
He got married a year and like 2 months later, which was, I think, fine.
Yeah, he got married.
They already
How
knew
long
each
were they
other.
dating?
She came over to
Right,
like
I mean-
console him.
That's what I'm saying.
And raise animals with him or something at the farm, and then it ended up they got married.
Yes.
How did
Based.
his wife die?
Based Thomas Massey.
Some kind of a health problem, but I don't know exactly.
Oh, I didn't know if it was like cancer or something. I mean, like, that's coming for like years.
No,
in
it was
advance.
unexpected for sure. They were like,
Oh.
"Oh, we didn't expect this. She just died. It was crazy." But also, it was a health thing, not like murder or
Well,
something.
who knew?
Maybe they had an agreement where she could pre-move on. Right, just stay with me till the end.
Maybe they
Who
had an
knew that
agreement that we
Thomas-
have no clue about, and it's like, you
We're
know
all
what I mean? Like
speculating.
maybe like they didn't even do anything, and he was just like had girlfriends. I'm not saying that. Wait, that sounds like so bad to say about some man that's like a Republican.
Or maybe he just latched
Senator.
on to the next person to fill the void,
Yeah.
and he's just running with it because it hurts too much, and he doesn't want to be alone.
Yeah, they were
Because she
high
showed
school
up to
sweethearts.
console him and help him raise animals on the farm.
Right.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
wife material, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta
They were-
lock that down as soon as possible.
Yeah, I mean, you already messed one up. Technically, right? You already fumbled the bag once.
No, you
Didn't
didn't.
if they
I
died
guess
of
you
natural
did-
causes?
You didn't. The bag has been fumbled, regardless if you had fumbled it or not. She's gone. She's
I don't
not
think
there
that
anymore.
Saying
That's
those
that's till
lies.
death do us part, though. That's fulfilling
Yeah,
the
but
contract.
Yeah.
to get it twice in a row, I don't know.
Good on him.
Well,
Yeah, well, who?
If
who
his
would've
third
known
wife
that
dies
Tom-
of like cancer as well, right? Then we gotta like question what's he doing over there?
feeding them Roundup or something
would've
else.
known?
Doesn't seem
that-
like the type, right? Because
Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, what, like Make America Healthy Again and stuff? I don't know if he's part of that.
no, it seems like he would be against the Roundup and the corporations based on things he said in his voting record, etc. Right? Like,
Yeah, who would have known that Thomas Massey was as based as he is? I mean, he sounds like he listens to Caleb Jones. Caleb Jones, the old advertiser on Free Talk Live. Thomas Massey's a total alpha male 2.0. Who would have guessed, dude? He's probably a lifelong Free Talk Live listener, scooping up Caleb Jones content on his Mark Edge sponsored webinar.
well,
How
if that's
freaking
true, if
cool
he's
is
a
that,
lifelong
man?
Free Talk Live listener, please, Thomas Massey, call us in and fill in the gaps here,
No,
so we don't
I
have
wa-
to speculate.
If he was a lifelong Free Talk Live listener, I'd be really sad right now because I
Because he's
wouldn't
never
want to.
called in.
No, I wouldn't want him to hear me saying us saying all this stuff.
Well,
It'd be
that's
really
why.
sad.
But now he can call
What
in
do you
and
mean?
fix
He's remarried. He's moved on.
I know, but
apparently.
we were like
way too
saying crazy
quickly,
things.
according to Trump.
Yeah, that was rude, horrible. And then Turd being like, "Oh, that
I
was
wanna-
funny."
I
Mean.
want to know when Free Talk Live is going to have Thomas Massey on as a guest, because I want to call in and ask him like what his wife lets do to her and how long did he have to wait?
Then I will
Like,
hang
is it
up
right
on
away?
you.
Was it like,
And probably never, because Free Talk Live really doesn't do political guests all that frequently.
Yeah.
It's not really.
Well,
if
you
they
know,
want
like,
on,
Thomas-
they have the number.
well, look, you're the ones that consider yourselves a bunch of libertarians. Maybe it's worth having Thomas Massey on. He's the closest thing you're ever going to get to another Ron Paul.
I'm pretty sure
You might
Ian
as
would
well
be
take him.
accepting of a Thomas Massey thing, but also like, why would we go out of our way for it right now? It's like, not
Well,
necessary.
let me ask you this, Bonnie. Would you have Ron Paul on if you wanted to come on?
Yeah, we have.
I think you have had Ron Paul on, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly. Ron Paul
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
an
so-
exception for so many rules, for one thing.
Well,
That's what I'm
why?
saying.
Many libertarians only vote of all time.
Like Free Talk Live
Well-
has had guests, but it's not really the format of the show.
Well, Thomas Massey is a Kentucky representative. I mean, maybe all the libertarians that listen to Free Talk Live in Kentucky all voted for him. You don't know. Why not have him on and find out? That's all I'm saying.
I would be shocked if Creighton didn't vote for him if he's in the right area or whatever it is.
Why don't you reach out to him, give him the Free Talk Live phone number, and he can call in like anybody else and tell us whatever he
Exactly.
wants.
There have been more than one person at, like, especially Liberty Forum that's like, I'm running for office, and they come up to the Free Talk Live table and they're like, oh, I should be on. And I tell them about how they can call in, and they never do, and they almost seem offended at the moment.
Yeah.
And the first time that ever happened in any case at all, which has happened with way more than just politicians at this point, Ian told me that that's like what always happens, and he was totally right. Like, especially people running for some sort of office, especially like presidents. Like, anyways, other than Aaron Day, who's awesome, who ran for president, and he was just amazing to be on
Aaron
the show.
Day. Oh my God, it's all picky and choosy. Like, you guys,
Right, because it's our
just
show.
Get them on. Well, look. I mean, you guys had Spike Cohen on, or Joe Jorgensen. What was so special about Joe Jorgensen?
That
I mean,
wasn't
come on.
you guys as in me. That was Ian. I honestly, I don't get that.
Well,
I didn't like her.
No, I think it was.
She was one of the most
Tardia.
principled
Tardia said that,
libertarian candidates in recent memory. That's why.
Really?
I don't know. I don't know.
Wasn't she
was that?
pro
I don't know
jab
about
though?
that.
Maybe.
She wasn't like pro it. She just wouldn't renounce it, and it was really annoying people. It's like, oh, this actually what annoyed people on Free Talk Live, including Ian and Arya. They were like, you come on Free Talk Live saying you're not going to like talk about the most important stuff going on right now. Like, why? You could have used that to like get attention and stuff, and also, you know, like
Arya,
use your voice.
Arya is all head over heels for, which I can't understand. Well, I guess I can, because Arya is a total establishmentarian hack.
Again,
I'm so
because
glad
because
Arya's not
prior
on the
to
show
that, you had Bob Barr and Bill Weld and Gary Johnson, right? Which
I'm not
weren't
making
libertarians.
excuses for them.
What?
Yeah, well, maybe you should. Look, maybe
Who
you
was
should have had them
last?
on, too.
Oh.
I would have loved to have been able to scrutinize her. I tried to scrutinize Joe Jorgensen the day she called in. I wanted to ask her about her maniac her vice president pick.
Spike Cohen?
Who was it? Oh,
Who's
Spike Cohen?
Who's like appearing. He
was awesome.
He's like going.
He was
naked.
awesome.
He's like appearing naked on all his interviews. I mean, come on. I mean, how is anybody
Naked? No, he
supposed to think that-
wasn't.
Arya, I tried to ask Joe Jorgensen about that, and Arya wouldn't even let me on the phone to ask her. So Arya's a hack. She can't. She's all about whoever she's voting for, and nobody can give any scrutiny to the person who he is voting for. I'm sorry, because Arya is a man, and that really made me mad. It really upset
Her
me.
Was he
programs.
actually?
I would have actually liked to ask her some real questions, but Arya wasn't having it.
Was Spike Cohen actually naked at any point? Or are you just saying like he was
Yeah,
doing like
yeah.
shirtless interviews?
Well, yeah, he was shirtless. I mean, he's naked. He's
That's not
taking his
naked.
shirt off. He's a vice presidential candidate. I mean, give me a break, dude. Come on.
Well, I
That's
mean,
not
RFK took his shirt off a bunch, and
Yeah.
he was like a presidential
Yeah,
candidate.
well, RFK's body looks way closer to mine than Spike Cohen's does. Sloppy. I have the body
Depends
of a
what the
sloppy
purpose was,
pitch bottle.
right?
Huh?
If well, again, depends what the purpose was. Like if you're getting an interview,
If the purpose is to be a moron, if the purpose is regardless
I
of what the
find any
purpose is, if
picture
I
of him?
take you less seriously because of it, who cares? I want to ask
but if
her
the
about
purpose
that.
is to like drive attention
By the
to
way-
the Libertarian Party,
This is weird.
right?
It's like
You're
I,
going to get
John
more
Jacob,
attention by
you know
being
what I mean?
reckless and creative than you are just
All it
having
did-
a
all it
know
did-
nothing
all it
interview.
did was
this
make-
is why
all it did was make more
McAfee should have
people
been presidential
think that-
candidate 2016.
Oh no, see, and
All
I wanted
it-
Vermin Supreme.
Oh yeah, I would have
Right,
liked
if-
that too. But my favorite
with
was
all the
McAfee.
trolling that Trump was doing, right? Vermin Supreme was,
That was
the perfect
time
foil.
for it.
That
Why
was the
wasn't-
time.
That was the only reason I ended up voting for Trump. Or not the only reason. That was like the ultimate reason I ended up voting for Trump. I got convinced by people that I was like gonna let Hillary Clinton win. But I feel like if it was like Vermin Supreme or McAfee, I couldn't have done it. I would have been like, no, I'm voting for them. But I just never. I never understood that. Like no, but there was no way that Hillary Clinton was going to win Utah, so I did throw my vote away.
Right.
And that I threw my vote away to Trump.
But the Republicans and Democrats are going to have a debate outside some building, and Vermin Supreme is not going to be invited, and he's going to show up with a pony and a bullhorn and 17 ties on, right, and make a scene out front of the debate building to draw attention
That's true.
to his candidacy.
But you don't think McAfee would have done something like that similar?
No.
I think he would have.
Not to the extreme. Vermin Supreme, like with the boot on the head, like he is a character.
I loved him
right?
too, but I
And you
actually
need a
like McAfee more.
You need to fine as a
In
presidential candidate, fine.
Yeah.
Right, but this is not to win. This is to actively anti-troll Trump.
I think he would have done something crazy too, McAfee.
Okay.
You know, Vermin Supreme was the first, I guess I was like 14, 15. That's like the first time I ever heard about like whatever we're doing up here.
Okay.
New Hampshire?
Yeah, well, yeah.
He's from New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Oh, he's from here. I thought he
Yeah.
was from
Yeah.
Massachusetts or something.
Oh, maybe.
Well, I mean, to
I don't
me in
know.
Oregon,
In this
that's all the same place.
in this area.
Yeah, but was he talking about like the free
Well,
state?
no, like Vermin Supreme and like the Libertarians, and I think that's the first time I heard of like Pork Fest too. I was
did
like,
he
this
go there?
guy's crazy. I'm gonna look into this more because this is kind of silly.
That's what I'm saying.
And-
But that's
yeah,
why.
that's what pulled me in. I was
Right.
like, what is he talking about?
So Spike Cohen being naked on an interview, right? Well, this dude's a little nuts, right? Let me look into this a
Well-
little bit further, and then you get hooked on the principles.
No, that's ridiculous, and it didn't happen. That's the problem with your theory. You can say that all you want, but nobody got hooked. If anything, we lost libertarians in the span. I mean, I think that was the libertarian voting has been on the decline since Gary Johnson, actually, if I'm not mistaken. He got the highest.
I was going to say
and
he
the
got the
rest
highest,
of them got way lower. So if you really want to invite people into the movement, Richie Rich, you should actually be kissing Gary Johnson's ass because he's done more for it than Joe Jorgensen or
I think
Spike
it was
Cohen
just
or
the
Stern.
time.
Except he's not a libertarian.
It
That was the
wasn't-
problem.
It wasn't
Who was
Johnson's.
the idiot?
It wasn't anything about him.
Ran? Huh?
It wasn't anything about Gary Johnson. It was just simply the time. Anybody who ran at that time would have gotten the record libertarian votes. I really think so. Like, if McAfee had won, I seriously think he would have gotten way more.
Well, I don't know.
Run,
I mean,
let's
Gary
say.
Johnson came off as very reasonable.
And nobody
And it
wanted that
came-
at that time. Like, people were voting for Trump.
Well, I guess in the long run he did, but Gary Johnson still got way more votes than any other libertarian candidate.
And if it
Yes.
would have been anyone else, they would have also gotten a record amount. Is definitely what I'm going to
I
say,
don't
and I
know.
will
And
also
the
say I think
problem- the
McAfee would have
problem
gotten
is
even
you just
more
think-
because he'd be so
Yeah, but
incredibly like in everybody's
you're-
faces. People would be like, "Whoa, this guy's crazy," and it would have been like getting the word out.
Yeah, but
And
you're just-
instead,
but you're just speculating. But you can't know that. You're just.
I know for a
speculating.
fact
That's the
that
problem.
anybody that ran as a
do you
libertarian
know
would have
that?
gotten record votes in 2016. Like, I'm gonna say with that, I'll put my life on it. Like, God strike me down right now if I'm wrong.
How convenient.
You can't say you would have got more votes than Gary Johnson. You can't.
No,
know
I
that.
didn't say that. I said anybody that ran at all for the Libertarian Party, unless they like really screwed it up by like going up and saying like I'm for child rape or something, would have
Well, Gary- if I'm
absolutely
not
gotten
mistaken,
the
Daryl
most of
Perry
all
said
time
something
at
like
that
that.
time. It's literally has nothing to do with Gary Johnson. No one would believe
If
it has
I
something
asked-
to do with Gary
Hold on.
Johnson.
If I asked Daryl Perry, right, who ran for president in 2016, if he thinks that I should be able to rape children, he'd probably say yes, because that's how insane Daryl W. Perry is. No, I mean,
Do you think he would have said that on a
you
debate
tell me,
stage? I really
if
don't
Daryl
think so.
W. Perry, if Daryl W.
He would have
Perry
checked for
had won,
consent.
I don't.
No,
I have no idea what
2016
Daryl Perry would
W.
say.
Perry
Now you're just like
would have
changing the subject.
destroyed. Nobody would have ever voted for the Libertarian Party again had Daryl W. Perry won.
Okay, and that's a whole news
the
topic too.
Libertarian
Right. The problem
I
with Gary
do kinda know
Johnson is he wasn't a libertarian.
Mm-hmm.
He brought in
Who
non-libertarians.
cares?
Like his vice president.
And as soon as they we talked about the decline of libertarian voters, right? When they realized what libertarianism is, they left.
That's a good
he
point.
came in and then he left
Well,
because they
that's-
weren't principled
that's not his fault.
libertarians.
That's your fault. It sounds like that's a you problem, not him. He got people to vote for you. You haven't done that.
I'm not running for
Certainly
office.
Spike
It's not a
Cohen
me
didn't
problem
do that.
either.
Pretty sure you
And
have
certainly
run for
the last idiot
office.
that ran
Me?
last year-
Yeah, didn't you?
the
Never.
guy that
Oh,
ran last
maybe
year,
I'm
the
mixing you up
worst-
with somebody.
The biggest idiot in the libertarian movement, almost as bad as Daryl W. Perry, won the nomination last year. I don't even remember the guy's name.
Chase
He was
Oliver.
So stupid.
Did you win any,
Oh,
or not
yeah.
win, but did you
Freaking retard.
get any
I've never run for
public office, but
in
no
ever.
voting?
No,
None of
never.
that? Who am I thinking
I've
of?
never run a
Yeah,
write-in campaign.
There's somebody on the show that was
Yeah,
like,
he was a-
they have like they
Chase
won like a
Oliver.
minor thing, and maybe it's Chris Reitman. I know he has
Okay.
a minor thing
Chase
that he won.
Oliver is a skinny. Chase Oliver is a skinny little faggot running around wearing his masks and taking his COVID jabs, his coof jabs, because he's so afraid. Oh, I'm so afraid of COVID. Let me run for
But
president
that's a
now.
personal choice and has
Then
nothing to
Chase
do with
Oliver.
libertarian theory.
I really don't like it about him, and it was enough for me to be like, I'm not voting for
That's
him.
fine.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
Because I
He
know.
made a personal
And who
choice that you
cares
disagree
if-
with.
Yeah, I agree with
cares-
that.
Who cares if it has anything to do with libertarian theory? The point is it's disingenuous. Nobody can take him seriously. Part of running for office is.
And also,
being
he
able to
lied.
take it
That's the thing
seriously.
that drove me crazy was he lied, and I proved that he lied on Twitter. He said that he never said so and so such a thing,
Okay.
and I found the tweets where he said it. It's crazy.
Okay.
It's like
That's a more
I find
fair
that
assessment.
insane. Yeah, I forgot
But
about that until just now.
let's not pretend that there weren't libertarians in favor of masks and the jab.
Yeah,
right?
there were. I'm not saying it's not libertarian.
Right.
Just simply, there would be nobody on earth that I would vote for that was pro that crap. He said,
Right.
I'm going
Well,
to
those are the
Thanksgiving
people-
dinner and everybody else should and I'm masking up. Everybody else should too.
Yeah,
Like at the time, I was going to the
returning-
meetup groups in Manchester, and it was split down the middle. Right, there were some
Well,
people that
I
were
hope-
livid
well, I
that we
hope-
were having meetups
well-
still, and not
Well, I hope you're happy.
self-isolating.
Well, I hope you're happy with those people, Richie Rich, because they're the ones that are still in your little libertarian movement. The ones that think it's the one that think it's a-okay with your precious little non-aggression principle to force you to take the jab and force you to wear.
No,
No,
they never
anyone-
forced to take.
They
They
said
never
that.
promoted forcing the jab.
The people that I know that were
They
even
just chose
pro-mask,
to take it.
the only people I know that were even pro-mask are like basically not in the movement anymore anyway. Like don't talk to anyone.
Yeah.
I could be wrong as far as people you know, but
Look, one of the first person to like wear the N95 mask around here was Matt, former
Oh, yeah.
host of the show.
but
'Cause
he
had
did
a-
change his. He flipped his
He
script.
flipped
yeah,
afterwards, but like he was like, no, I got a box of N95s and this and that because like this thing's, you know, they're
But-
wearing hazmat suits in China and I have a medical condition.
Yeah, he has a medical condition, and
Right.
he was actually. I was on the same mindset as Matt at the very beginning before I moved to
Right.
New Hampshire because I was like, I wasn't thinking, oh, I'm so scared of every cult. I was like, oh, they're finally doing the thing where they're gonna kill us all. Do you see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I thought the government released it, and I ended up being right about that.
And Mark is vaccinated.
Yeah.
So
But that was only because he wanted to go on a cruise.
whatever justification you want.
And he would never say everybody should be vaccinated.
That's
he never
the
went
only
around saying
point,
that. He
right?
never even wore the mask everywhere.
The-
or
the
maybe
people-
he did like in
the people in Manchester
airlines.
preferred self-isolation. They were mad that we weren't doing it, but they couldn't do anything about it, nor
Who?
were they promoting it.
Anybody that still hangs out.
I haven't gone to the meetups in several years.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I wasn't there at the very beginning.
But I was there at the time,
Anything else on your mind right now, Turd?
and I had someone pull me aside.
No, I'm all talked out. Just happy birthday to
I
me.
was gonna say that.
Yeah, I'll accept birthday presents in the form of gold, silver, or full frontal nudity if you have a particularly feminine, sexy body. You know what I mean?
Well, happy birthday, Turd. Sorry you're not getting any
We're sending you a
presents from
pic
us
to real
this
Sid
year.
Turd.
And also,
I'm not afraid of full frontal.
somebody told. Oh yeah. Is it very feminine? You
don't know.
can just go ahead and send
That
that.
turd will have to decide once he sees it.
Awesome. I hope you heard that because I had him on mute. So wait, before I answer the next call really fast, I was gonna say, man, I forgot. Sorry. Dave Ridley in Wyoming, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind? I should almost change your name to Dave Ridley, Wyoming. Oh, sorry. Wait, Colorado. Right, Dave Ridley?
Yeah, I'm in Colorado right now.
One of the rectangle states.
So
What
I have
states?
Rectangle.
Oh, yes, exactly. Literally, that's what my brain pops up as soon as I say those ones.
I'm calling in to report the most restrictive school board meeting I've ever attended, and I've attended a lot of school board meetings in a lot of places.
Oh, wow.
So this was in Colorado Springs here, and so I go to this called District 11. I'm not even going to be able to get through all the items here probably in this one call, all the crazy things that happened. But the first thing that happened was I walked up to the building where the school board meeting was to be held. It was in like mid-afternoon, and it's pretty cold. And I go up to the front door. No one's allowed in. Citizens are not allowed into the building.
At all or yet?
Well, they would allow you in briefly during the meeting.
Okay.
So, and this was not a school. This was just an administrative building. And so I step back, and there's a sign that says the lines. This is where you line up to go into the school board meeting here outside. Line starts here. So I knock on the door. They come to the door. They still won't let me in. You know, the meeting starts in about 15 minutes. I want to do ambush interviews with my camera because people are coming and going. So anyway, eventually I'm allowed into the building. Hardly anyone is, of course, attending the meeting, except the bureaucrats and the politicians.
Just the way they like it.
Yeah. Next thing that happens, they demand an ID for me to be able to watch the meeting.
Wow.
At the front desk, and so I refused to provide one, but I did write down my name for them. Then they let me in. And then again, of course, this is all on video, and you can see it at RidleyReport.com.
Surreptitious video, or they gave you permission to record?
Well, I didn't ask for permission, but I was just openly holding a camera as usual.
So,
Yeah.
were you able to ambush interview anyone, or was it just made impossible?
Well, actually, I interviewed some people outside before it even started, and so. But then once I was inside, I was able to continue doing that. And by the way, all these people, the craziest. You're gonna hear all these crazy things that they do. They're all really polite. Okay, so that was the only good thing I can really report. Well, one of two things. But anyway, the next thing. I start moving toward the. I haven't even gotten to the outskirts of the meeting yet, and I've already seen something else. There's this guy that's decked out like he's ready for the SWAT. He's like on the SWAT team or something like that. That's their security, and of course, guns are banned inside. And then I get to the outskirts of the meeting, and the next thing that happens, I do some ambush interviews. That goes okay, and I walk into the meeting room and I start taking some pictures right after the meeting has started, right? So I'm just kind of standing there taking a few pictures, and then security approaches me again and says, well, you're not allowed to stand up while taking pictures. You're not allowed to be standing.
But you're allowed to take pictures from a seated position.
You must sit down while filming.
Okay. Did you hold your camera above your head then to get the same angle of view?
So we whisper back and forth, and then I said, well, would you stop Channel 11 from using a tripod? Eyeball height? Well, no, we wouldn't. Are you media? Like, yes. And they were, where's your government permission to be media?
Wow.
Do you have your credentials that you can show us? This is all. I'm only halfway through here.
Okay, let's continue if you have more time. 603-283-6160. More Free Talk Live coming up.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com. Tired of cancel culture? Sick of mega tech corporations holding an axe over your head? Join the LRN.FM Matrix chat server. It's self-hosted, so no one else can tell us what to do or say. Don't like the existing channels? You can make your own. You can even connect into some of our channels from other Matrix servers. It's federated. For the full LRN.FM Matrix experience, though, you should join our server via the step-by-step instructions at chat.lrn.fm. Chat.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next, after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Feature Story News in San Francisco, I'm Ira Spitzer with a look back at some of the week's top stories. The United States launched airstrikes against ISIS in the north of Nigeria on Christmas Day. U.S. President Donald Trump said they were to send a message to insurgents in the country who he claims are persecuting Christians. FSN's Jagruti Dave has more from Washington.
Donald Trump has been threatening military intervention in Nigeria for some time, and this was the justification he gave for these strikes, which he described as deadly in a social media post. He said ISIS terrorist scum have been targeting and viciously killing primarily innocent Christians. He added, "Merry Christmas to all, including the dead terrorists, of which there will be many more if their slaughter of Christians continues." US Africa Command said their initial assessment is that multiple ISIS terrorists were killed in ISIS camps. The strikes were coordinated with the Nigerian government, whose foreign minister said they shared intelligence with the US.
India and Bangladesh summoned each other's envoys over protests outside their diplomatic missions as already tense ties spiral. The latest round of formal protests come after right-wing groups staged protests in several Indian cities over the killing of a Hindu garment worker in Bangladesh over allegations of blasphemy. FSN's Kshitij Nagar has more from New Delhi.
The summoning of the Indian High Commissioner by Bangladesh is the second such instance in as many days. Bangladeshi officials raised objections over protests and what they describe as a failure to curb demonstrations and targeting its diplomatic missions. The High Commission in Delhi remains under heavy police deployment, with security tightened and police forces deployed. The killing of a Hindu man in northern Bangladesh earlier in the month triggered public anger in India and sharpened concerns over minority safety. Indian authorities say they are closely tracking developments. The escalation comes amid broader political uncertainty in Bangladesh following the ouster of former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina earlier this year.
U.S. President Trump announced a new type of battleship set to be used by the U.S. Navy, and it is one named after himself. FSN's Mitch McCann reports.
Standing beside the Defense Secretary and the Secretary of State, Donald Trump announced that the US will build 2 new Trump-class battleships. Mr. Trump told reporters on Monday he is calling them the Golden Fleet and said eventually there'll be 25 of them. Mr. Trump said the new ships will have 100 times the force and power of any other battleship ever built, adding there will be nothing else like them. The president said that the US has not built a battleship since 1994 and said each one will be the largest in the history of the world. He said they will command respect, but added that the world already respects America. Mitch McCann, New York.
From Bureaus Worldwide, this is FSN. The U.S. confirmed it carried out a strike on an alleged drug smuggling boat, killing one person. Along with the seizure of another Venezuelan oil tanker over the weekend, it continues the pressure campaign against Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro. FSN's Nick Harper reports from Washington.
The US military confirming that it had killed what it called one narco-terrorist. It released footage of that strike, with the US Southern Command confirming on X that it had carried out the attack upon the direction of Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. It said the boat had been transiting along known narco-trafficking routes. But all of this as Venezuela has called for an urgent meeting at the UN Security Council to push back on what it's called the aggression of the United States. China and Russia both coming out with strong support for Caracas, with China saying that the US was in serious violation of international law with its continued actions against Venezuela, its oil tankers and alleged drug smuggling boats. I'm Nick Harper in Washington.
A car bomb killed a top military official in Moscow. FSN's Daria Bondarchuk reports from the Russian capital.
A car bomb exploded in southern Moscow on Monday, killing General Fanil Sarvarov. He headed the Operational Training Directorate of the Russian Army's General Staff. The top military official was blown up in the parking lot of his apartment building, reportedly minutes after he sat in his car and traveled just a few meters. He became the third person of his rank to be killed in car bombing incidents over the past 12 months. Russia's investigative committee says Lieutenant General Sarvarov was killed in an explosion possibly orchestrated by Ukrainian intelligence services. Daria Bondarchuk, Moscow.
That was a look at some of the week's top stories. Ira Spitzer reporting.
Sea anemones are the most disgusting of all tidal creatures. Their thick tentacle arms are engorged with the collected urine that makes up much of tide pools. Whale urine, fish urine, otter urine, crab urine, all sucked up by the moon and deposited in these natural outhouses. Clownfish share a symbiotic relationship with sea anemones. The clownfish cleans the sea anemone. In exchange, the anemone sprays urine on the face of the clownfish. It's one fetishistic delight. Contrary to popular belief, sea urchins are not in fact animals. Indeed, they are not alive at all. They are simply the clumped together leavings of the ocean's denizens.
This is the Onion News Network.
You can stick it to the man and big tech. Join our FTL social mastodon at social.freetalklive.com. Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. Man, it's always so sad sounding when I let it go to the fading music. Sounds like, well, I was a little late, I guess. Free Talk Live, you can call 603-283-6160 to bring up whatever's on your mind, and we will get back to our call with Dave Ridley. But first, Free Talk Live is brought to you by LibertyMinded.com. Official Free Talk Live gear like t-shirts and hoodies are available at LibertyMinded.com. Plus, you'll find a unique collection of cool and funny liberty-oriented clothing at LibertyMinded.com. That's LibertyMinded.com. And with you on Free Talk Live, you've got me, Bonnie.
Angelo.
And Richie Rich.
And let's go back to our calls. We have Dave Ridley from RidleyReport.com on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
So, yeah, just continuing my story about the most authoritarian school board meeting I've ever attended.
Sounds about right. This is crazy. This is in Colorado, right? To make sure.
Colorado Springs, yes. So, my latest update on the deteriorating political situation in Colorado. But anyway, so after ordering me to sit down while filming instead of standing while filming, they order me to They say, well, okay, after extended whispered negotiations, they say, okay, you're allowed to stand, but you have to stand behind the school board, which is very difficult. I had to, just squeeze behind these people who are the school board to get to this position that they said, there, you're allowed to stand. So I go there.
What was their answer for your tripod question for Channel 9? I think that's where...
You had a tripod in this horrific location, this little cramped location where only one tripod would fit.
I think they said, they wouldn't apply the same scrutiny to Channel 9 as they did to Dave Ridley, and then that's when they were like, well, where's your government-issued identification?
Actually, they didn't say it had to be government-issued, so in fairness to them. Okay. So if I gave that impression, I apologize. But
you should have put out your Ron Swanson piece of paper that says, I'm allowed to do this.
I can do whatever I want.
I can do whatever I want, yeah.
Yeah. So the next thing, so I really don't care what they're talking about. In the school board meeting, I can't hear it very well on the camera anyway. I'm just trying to establish the rules in the area, right?
Yeah.
So I, film there just for a minute or two, and then I go ahead and head back out to the outskirts of the school board meeting, which is where I spend most time, doing ambush interviews and stuff like that. Well, another thing I'll do when I'm at a school, since, you can't document what's going on in the classrooms, really. You're not allowed to film any of that or go in there even. So I usually will try to just find out what the propaganda is on the walls. So the walls of a school or a school administrative building are pretty interesting to me, and I like to at least look at them and film some of them if anything looks interesting. And so I start walking down one of the halls to try and do this, and they stop me. Sir, where are you going? You need to remain within 20 meters of the school board meeting.
What?
And then I
breach the perimeter.
I said, what would happen if, to me, Mr. Security Officer with the school board, if I were to continue walking, in this direction away from the school board meeting down this hallway? He said, I would call the police on you and we'd have you charged with criminal trespass.
Okay.
Again, with complete politeness.
So I've got a question for you, but I want to preface this, and maybe it's not your style. I used to listen to a podcast, I have no idea if they're still on the air, called Rule of Law Radio. And one of their tactics, they were more in the courtroom type of thing, one of their tactics was they knew the rules in advance. So they knew all the rules for the court proceedings for whatever it is they had to do, and they would then bait the court officials into breaking the rules so that they could then file a lawsuit and make some money off of this. So rather than going to the school board meeting and kind of feeling your way through it, if there would be a way for you to get the rules in advance and then just allow them to, to violate the rules, and you document this all and then just file a lawsuit against them and say, hey, here's the rules, here's where you violated, my rights have been violated as far as this proceeding is concerned, and then, bait them to change their actions in some form or fashion that way as a form of activism. Your thoughts?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I do it the way I do it, is it's an easy, quick way to get other people to come up with even better ideas, right? I didn't have to do any research. I just pop in, pop out. And that gave you the idea that, maybe people should do it this other way, and that will give other ideas, and so we'll continue to have this synergy, I hope. But there is more to the story.
Okay, go ahead.
So as a final coup de grace, the school district seized the bed and breakfast that I was renting and the entire neighborhood.
Wait, what do you mean?
Through eminent domain, they expanded their football field. I was renting a bed and breakfast near one of their schools, and they seized the entire neighborhood.
Okay. So that was completely unrelated to your encroachment onto the school board.
Correct.
Okay.
I didn't even know.
All right.
Yes.
So wait, can you repeat? Because my head was still in the school board mode. So what did they do to the bed and breakfast?
They seized it using eminent domain to expand the football field.
Shortly after I shot the video, they seized the entire neighborhood.
So
just to get back at Dave.
Wait, you're saying
We'll
a
show
whole
you.
building? You were running a bed and breakfast, like a whole building and everything?
No, I was just renting a room in the bed and breakfast. Well, not a room, but
you were renting it. I thought you said running it. But yeah, that's still really crazy. Wow. Oh, just to expand a football field. Wow.
What is it, a college or for the high school?
It was for the high school.
Do they win games?
Who knows?
I mean, if they're good,
If you need to expand a football field, it's clearly because you're going from the American rules to the Canadian rules, and you need an extra 10 yards.
Well, if they're like rebuilding the stadium, I don't want to put millions of dollars into a losing program. That's a waste.
You got to put the millions of dollars in to build the program, man.
It's not coming from the stadium. You're not going to play
the
good
horse.
football.
None
with a
of
good
this
stadium.
makes it okay to steal from people. Like a bed and breakfast. Some
I was
old
being,
couple.
I was being more facetious than anything. Like
facetious.
Facetious. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do.
Fastidious.
But yes, I would say that I knew you weren't being like 100% serious, but I just want to make sure that my thought is out on the record. It's just like, that's really gross to me.
If you build it, they will come. You build the stadium up, you get people to show up, those people donate to the program, you can recruit better athletes, you can hire better coaches to train them. Like you gotta build up the facilities to attract the right talent to build the program.
I don't know if it necessarily would work like that. For some reason, where my little brother and sister played basketball, they were the tiniest people, no matter who they played against. We were always like, these kids are the same age? Has Ellsworth ever told you that?
Yeah.
It's so weird. I started wondering if like Dugway Proving Ground like has some poison in the water that it was making us all smaller. I mean, I was done growing, but isn't that weird? Like, I don't think there was any, like, making a new stadium that would have made them better.
Well, I feel like you just get a lot of, like, since Dugway is like a military place, you're just getting, like, a lot of randomness. And then when you go play other ridiculously tiny schools, it's just a bunch of farmers' kids. So they're
those are a bunch of farmers' kids. Like, on Dugway, there's a bunch of farmers' kids that get to go. And then the very few people that have kids that are, like, actually mandated to stay there. There were way more just like random people that lived around the area than actually, like my dad being stationed there, that was like a very small unit and it was just the clinic. So like, I don't know, it was something weird.
If you have parents that are involved in their kids' like sports lives and sports career, and you can say like, you can play on this podunk dirt field, like in the district that you're in, or you can move like
Yeah,
2
that's a good
miles
point.
west and play in this elite athletic facility.
Mhm.
You don't think that facility is going to attract better athletes to move to that location?
Yeah, that's a good point. I thought you were saying like just within the school. Oh, and now I was really good, but I was never going to play until you gain those extra 10 yards.
You're building the program. It's likely not going to turn it around year one.
Yeah,
Right,
that
but
makes
10
sense,
years once the program's built and like they got the systems in place and they got the best weight room, in the district or in the
Yeah.
state.
It still grosses me out,
You're gonna get athletes to show up, man.
It grosses me out that anything is like stealing somebody's bed and breakfast to make more sports.
Completely separate issue. But
Yeah,
you're right
I
on
agree.
that one. Yeah.
I knew that you weren't making that as a defense to
Right.
the eminent domain or anything. Well, that's really kind of messed up. You have a new place to live now, Dave Ridley?
I had to flee to Wyoming.
Oh, so I was wrong.
Did they take it that quick? They took it that quickly?
Well, I mean, I didn't really have to go to Webb. I just, I wanted to get out of Colorado, and but I have to keep coming back to Colorado Springs because this is what will happen to all free staters if they live long enough, and that is their parents will get old and their parents will need help. So I have to do a lot of caregiver duty for the moment.
I've got a sister on my mom's side and a sister on my dad's side to take care of that. I ain't going
Nice.
nowhere.
Nice. So the
Fly
place you
home
live
for the
in
funeral.
Wyoming is still pretty close?
Wyoming is that part of Wyoming is maybe 3 hours away from Colorado Springs.
Okay. Well,
Yep.
Yeah, because most of the people that live in Wyoming only live like 3 hours from Colorado Springs.
Is that by car
Really?
or by horse?
well, do you have
But
any?
I promised there were. I indicated there were a couple of other good things about this crowd, this school board, and the politicians and all that.
Okay.
And that is, a lot of them were actually willing to answer a question of mine that normally I don't get this answered when I ask politicians, bureaucrats, and I asked a lot. What they had done to help save taxpayer money, anything they'd done to help reduce expenses, and I got I think about 3 different answers on that question. Normally they have no idea, and that was good. And the other thing that was good was that there was no attempt to interfere with me filming. There was no one even looked at me crosswise for filming. So that's some things they got right.
What were some of the answers they gave you for how they were saving taxpayer money for the ones that did answer?
The security guard, I asked him, and he wasn't a security guard. He was more like a security bureaucrat, I think. And he said that because he wasn't all decked out in the SWAT team like the other guy. But he said something like, I think he reduced his staff, which I thought that was probably actually the second most impressive answer I've ever heard.
His
To
what?
that
Staff.
question.
His staff.
He reduced his staff. Yeah.
He went from a wizard staff to a wand.
Yeah, I remember when you asked people at the Keene, New Hampshire library, and one of them just said like, "Oh, I try to save paper when I'm making copies and stuff like that." I mean, like, it's an answer. Not that impressive though.
I do everything front and back collated.
Exactly. Something just ridiculous like that. Well, I don't know. I want to get your story. Is your video up on RidleyReport.com?
Yeah.
Because I want to send it to Forest Mommy. She's a politician and politically active person in Colorado.
Oh.
It'd be so cool if she has a huge Twitter following. So if she shared it, that'd be awesome. So I'll send it to her.
Thanks.
But anything else on your
Bonnie
mind?
getting her Twitter views through someone else now.
Yeah, seriously, it's ridiculous. Like
Shadow
Twitter
ban
just
me.
And I've looked it up. One site refuses to tell me if I'm shadow banned, and another one says I'm not. But I literally got like a notification that said like, you are going to be temporarily throttled while we investigate your account. Like I might be using the wrong exact words, but I took a picture, and the next day it said like, okay, it's over, and it never recovered. It's just never been the same. It was like night and day noticeable. It's really annoying. So I'm definitely shadow banned on Twitter.
Did you ever
It's
post one of
100%
those
true.
polls that say like, are you reading this now? Yes or no?
Oh no, I just tweeted yesterday about how annoying it was, and like
Okay.
I got 2 responses.
Okay.
Like kind of like
Because I've seen people use the poll, right? Like if you're a follower of mine and you see this, like just click the yes button, so I know, of the 1,000 people I have following me, how many people have actually seen this.
yeah.
You know.
Maybe I will, honestly. It's like really annoying. It's like, I mean, I'm going to stop paying for the check mark. I'm going to like, the only reason I really have Twitter, like seriously, like if I wanted to like quit, the thing that makes me like, I can't, is like being able to advocate for Ian. It's like, that's like my biggest following anywhere. I don't use social media anywhere else. So it's like, well, anything else on your mind, Dave Ridley? Not trying to hold you captive. on the phone.
Well, one solution that Tom Woods is pushing is a site called Nostr as an alternative to other social media. I guess it's sort of like the Bitcoin of social media.
Yeah, I actually hear my friend yelling at me about this right now in my head because you're so right. Like there have been other people trying to tell me to go on there. So
you're going to go on there and you're going to get 5 views instead of 12.
Maybe. Let's see. Maybe I'll make one like later. Well, thank you for the call, Dave. I love to hear it. I'd love to hear about stuff like that. I haven't really seen much activism like that going on in New Hampshire recently, and it's always so fun. I'm not like mad at anyone for it. Like I could be doing it if I wanted, but haven't really been seeing anything like that. Haven't really like been in the headspace of it. It's like me and Ian were always like looking for something like that to do, and somehow he just knows about like, oh, this event's happening, that event's happening. We got to go. At least film and stuff like that, and I don't know, like I'm not as good at keeping track.
Find the rules first and bait them into breaking them, and then sue.
Yeah, if you have that much money to pour into it, you know what I mean? Like,
well, it's less money and more time. Do you have time to look up the rules?
Yeah, but what about like this whole lawsuit, like paying to get in a lawsuit and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna win, right? Because you got everything documented.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't you just?
I don't know. It's like you're like, oh, I'm gonna win.
Well,
but
I was gonna say, like, can't you just go to one of those pro bono guys, like one of those mega firms, and it's if it's a slam dunk, they'll just do it.
The judge is still gonna be like, well, technically, even though they broke this rule that's right here in plain English, they were using government speech when they said that. I don't know. You see what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. That's why you got to find the rules. But if the rule is like you're allowed to film and there's no restriction on sitting or standing,
they will make
and they go
up
like,
an excuse.
you sit. Right, and you go, yes, sir.
They'll
and
be
then
like, yes, but on Tuesdays, we're allowed to make up different rules. Like it says right here.
That's why you read the rules in advance. Yeah, that's why you get the rules in advance.
They just make crap up that isn't even true. Like they make it up. Like
well,
just to not
that's
win,
why you
or
sue,
not lose.
right? Because if it's not written down and they didn't violate it, right, or if it's not written down and you know they
like those people that wore XX armbands, I'm just in absolute shock that they've actually been upholding it so far. They still have more appeals or whatever.
Yeah.
That it wasn't free speech. It was like bullying or something like that. I don't remember if that's what it was. Well, we do have a caller on the line. 603-283-6160 is the phone number if you'd like to get in on the conversation with us. Sarah in New Mexico, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind, Sarah?
Oh, I finally got to see the new box speeding cameras in Rio Rancho. So I saw it on TV. They got rid of the fans, so it's actually a box.
How fast are these boxes going?
No, they're cameras, and then they capture the speeders. But I think they're mobile. I thought it was Velcro, but it's actually they unbolt it on the bottom, and then they could move it.
Okay.
So it's actually So it's about like maybe.
Did you learn this because you tried to remove run and were thwarted without the proper tools?
I've seen it on television. They were talking about it. So I think the problem with the fans is that it sticks out. They could hit it if you're going on the road. If you're not paying attention, it's kind of dangerous.
As it should be.
Well, it does stick on the side of the road. You know what I'm saying? So these are smaller and they're not sticking out as much as a van.
Okay.
So that's the advantage. So they picked up. They only had 8 vans before. Now they have 10. So it's progress for me. They got 2 more. So I'm just happy about it. But it looks different. It looks like a different vendor from what we have in Albuquerque. So the cameras that we have are 3 different angles. They're actually from Toronto, Canada. I never knew that they had a camera vendor from over there, but I don't know where these vendors are. But it doesn't.
It's the Canadian government spying on us. Can't trust those Canadian manufacturers.
Well, it's amazing how many different vendors there are, and these look like they're sky blue boxes. They must be from another company. I mean, different. I don't know where they're from. So
you went out of your way to like check out these cameras, and then are you trying to advocate for these to be moved into Albuquerque then, or what's the?
Well, I don't know. I think in comparison, we just have more cameras that are different, but they're better than the speeding vans. So they moved out. So, but I happen to like all these cameras, you know? So,
not surprising.
So you drove to go see it in person?
No, it was aired on television news. So I think it looks like it's about 4 feet to about 5 feet high, maybe 2 feet by 2 feet
closer
wide.
for people to go put paper bags over it and stuff.
Well, for some reason, they don't do that in that city. That's where the Intel company set up, and seems like they don't catch you.
Santa Fe, is that what you said?
Kind of stuff.
Just pass the camera where it doesn't see you and then go back.
Yeah. Was it Santa Fe you said?
No, Santa Fe, they don't have it. This is Rio Rancho.
Okay.
It's the Intel people are the one that's like, they're like 10 miles away from Albuquerque. That's where the Intel settled.
Intel Corporation?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like the computer people.
Yeah, so I don't know. They don't act stupid. They don't have like a big homeless population. They don't tolerate any of that kind of a
Why don't you move there? It's only 10 miles away. You get all the speeding cameras you want, no homeless people to deal with.
Sarah likes homeless people, I thought. Well, then again, yeah, she doesn't like to deal with them, like when they were on the corner of her street, like making noise or something like that. She didn't like that.
Or in the public park where she likes to walk.
Or smoking next to the bus stop. That's actually a really good point.
But they don't really have the problem with that place is you need a car, and then Albuquerque has the free buses. But yeah, kind of like the suburbs, you gotta have they don't have much of a bus system, so then you gotta ride the Uber. It's not that convenient if you don't have a car.
Okay.
So Albuquerque is where they tolerate a lot more homeless. So, but it seems like more of the intelligent people live in Santa Fe, Los Alamos, where they have what was that bomb place where there's a lab there in the
Area
Los Alamos.
52?
51?
Oh, yeah.
No, that's where they developed the nuclear weapons program in during
Right, and
World War
they still
II.
have a bomb. Yeah, they still have a lab. It's called Sandia Labs or something.
Oh, that's popping up, but it does sound familiar as Los Alamos National Laboratory.
Right. So that you gotta have physics degree or whatever to be able to work there. So
the Manhattan Project was there.
Yeah, like they made the nuclear bomb there. That's where they tested the first drop.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and is that White Sands? Is that like 5
White
miles?
Sands is around there. Let's see, Los Alamos Lab directions to White Sands, New Mexico. It looks like it's 4 to 5 hours. Oh, okay. Well, all around.
So
all
by
sounds
car or
similar.
by horse?
And White Sands is another proving ground, I know. But yeah, I don't know. Probably a car. 603-283-6160. Thank you for the call, Sarah. More Free Talk Live coming up. You can call in with whatever's on your mind. Don't forget, it will be your last call of the year. 603-283-6160. More Free Talk Live coming up.
If you're looking for work, the person you are applying to is probably so swamped with applicants that he or she is tough to reach. So call early in the day, before 8 a.m., before the palace guards arrive. You'll need your prospect's direct number, and here's a sneaky way to get it. Suppose the company's main number is 555-5000. You should call 555-5012. When someone says, "Good morning, Pam Johnson," you should innocently say, "Oops, somebody here must have written this down wrong. I was calling for Tom Frederick. What's his direct number?" If the very next thing you hear isn't Pam giving you Tom's number, it may be, "Good morning, Tom Frederick." For more tips for job seekers and getting better results in all your day-to-day communication, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
From Feature Story News in San Francisco, I'm Ira Spitzer with a look back at some of the week's top stories. The United States launched airstrikes against ISIS in the north of Nigeria on Christmas Day. U.S. President Donald Trump said they were to send a message to insurgents in the country who he claims are persecuting Christians. FSN's Jagruti Dave has more from Washington.
Donald Trump has been threatening military intervention in Nigeria for some time, and this was the justification he gave for these strikes, which he described as deadly in a social media post. He said ISIS terrorist scum have been targeting and viciously killing primarily innocent Christians. He added, "Merry Christmas to all, including the dead terrorists, of which there will be many more if their slaughter of Christians continues." US Africa Command said their initial assessment is that multiple ISIS terrorists were killed in ISIS camps. The strikes were coordinated with the Nigerian government, whose foreign minister said they shared intelligence with the US.
India and Bangladesh summoned each other's envoys over protests outside their diplomatic missions as already tense ties spiral. The latest round of formal protests come after right-wing groups staged protests in several Indian cities over the killing of a Hindu garment worker in Bangladesh over allegations of blasphemy. FSN's Kshitij Nagar has more from New Delhi.
The summoning of the Indian High Commissioner by Bangladesh is the second such instance in as many days. Bangladeshi officials raised objections over protests and what they describe as a failure to curb demonstrations and targeting its diplomatic missions. The High Commission in Delhi remains under heavy police deployment, with security tightened and police forces deployed. The killing of a Hindu man in northern Bangladesh earlier in the month triggered public anger in India and sharpened concerns over minority safety. Indian authorities say they are closely tracking developments. The escalation comes amid broader political uncertainty in Bangladesh following the ouster of former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina earlier this year.
U.S. President Trump announced a new type of battleship set to be used by the U.S. Navy, and it is one named after himself. FSN's Mitch McCann reports.
Standing beside the Defense Secretary and the Secretary of State, Donald Trump announced that the U.S. will build 2 new Trump-class battleships. Mr. Trump told reporters on Monday he is calling them the Golden Fleet and said eventually there'll be 25 of them. Mr. Trump said the new ships will have 100 times the force and power of any other battleship ever built, adding there will be nothing else like them. The president said that the US has not built a battleship since 1994 and said each one will be the largest in the history of the world. He said they will command respect, but added that the world already respects America.
From Bureaus Worldwide, this is FSN.
Don't miss a moment of Free Talk Live. Get our archives daily via our podcast at feeds.freetalklive.com.
It's Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. It's also the last Free Talk Live of the year, so Happy New Year in advance, and call in to get your last call of the year in 603-283-6160. That's 603-283-6160. Go ahead.
Should we get New Year's resolutions from callers too?
Oh yeah,
That'd be fun.
Call in with your New Year's resolution. I actually have one. I'll go ahead and start off. My New Year's resolution is to start cooking my food at home all the time again, because I got into a horrible habit of like going and getting restaurant food this year.
Okay.
So, and I've just been I haven't been making my cookies. I go and buy my cookies. I eat cookies every day.
Okay.
And it's non-negotiable.
All the time, you're not going to eat at a restaurant at all next year? Because that seems unrealistic as well.
Exactly. Maybe I'll make a specific rule or something.
Okay.
But it also feels like if I make a specific rule and there's some reason I have to break it, I'll be all discouraged.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I just
don't make it too restrictive on yourself.
Yeah.
But make it where it's measurable at least.
Yes, that's a good point.
Okay.
Start making my food at home again, because I've been whenever Ian lived here, I cooked all the time. I spent so many hours and hours cooking in the kitchen all day, and then it just kind of went away. I need to do that again. I'm eating such crap. But if you're tired of the oppressive rules and social media or moderation of the big tech social media sites, our Mastodon server at social.freetalklive.com can set you free. Mastodon is free, open source, decentralized, and federated. Multiple apps are available for iOS, Android, Windows, Mac, and Linux. Social.freetalklive.com. Anybody else have a New Year's resolution you want to share?
I I don't do them.
Yeah, I never
Yeah.
really have. I don't remember.
I did them for a little while, and I like again I wouldn't not necessarily a resolution, but like a goal was set, and I just for the past few years haven't been in the right mental space to set goals.
Mhm.
Like that's why I just I go to work and I go home and play video games, and that's my life now.
I feel like I would probably have said like very similar thing. Like I just wasn't in the right mental space the last several years, and
Yep.
this year it's like I'm putting myself in a bad mental space eating like crap. So I've been noticing it, and it's almost January. It sounds like a good time.
Eat more pizza.
Anything else about any? Just
No, I just feel like
not doing
I
it at all?
forget about. It'll
Yeah.
be like 3 weeks later. I'll be like, oh yeah, huh.
Yeah, I
I said something about that, and it's like because I don't know. I felt like when I did do them, it would be like in school. So like
do you remember ever like a specific one you ever did?
I don't know,
think I
like, lose
do.
weight or something. I don't know. Like
I don't think I ever.
I don't know. For me, life just moves so fast. I just, especially when I was like younger, and I'm always doing stuff where like
Mhm.
your schedule's changing all the time. Like there's no routine. I'm not. Why would I even like get mad at myself for not doing something when
Yeah.
like I don't even know where I'm gonna be next week.
This year,
Well, I mean, it could be something as easy as like finish a book every month, right? Like no matter where you are, you can find a way to read a book.
Right.
Right.
I'm starting to think I should do more than one because right when I read that ad, I was like, honestly, I could do something that has to do with like switching something to be more privacy oriented. Because like just whenever I'm around Chris Wade, I'm like sweating. I'm like, he's gonna find out about my Oura ring. He's gonna find out I don't have it anymore.
Don't worry about that, dude.
Just things like that. I'm thinking I could do something like that.
He makes his life purposely more complicated than it needs to be.
Maybe I could start a Nostr like some of my friends have been wanting me to do.
Yeah, that could be one.
That's
I'm
not
going
really a
to
resolution.
create a Nostr account, and I'll post at least once a week there.
Yeah,
in
something like
addition
that.
to my Twitter.
And then another thing is, we kind of touched on it, and I forgot. But
Okay.
this year I got way better.
I'm going to learn Linux.
Oh yeah, reading a book. I think reading a book is a good
I'm going to make
idea.
Linux my main operating
I
system. I want to
tried-
figure this thing out.
I tried learning Linux right after I watched The Matrix for the first time with Ian, and I was like,
Okay.
wow, I want to be a hacker. And I tried to learn Linux, and I was like, oh, never mind. This is really hard.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
I like
So-
bought little classes.
To make you feel better, in the last 25 years, not a significant improvement.
In what?
Linux.
Oh. And that's actually kind of proof to that argument you guys had several months ago,
Yeah.
like about how easy it is for the end
Yeah.
user. I was like, no, I can't figure this out. And I'm
No.
like too dumb. Like
It's
it was like the command line stuff. I was like, I'm never going to memorize this.
So, I
this too not intuitive.
I don't know if I should name drop, but there's a former host of the show who is an IT professional, and I follow their Telegram group. And even they, as an IT professional, right, are trying to get something up and running using Linux and failing miserably and complaining about it on their channel. I'm like, see, this dude is like, he's not a dumb dude. He's smart, right? He's done this professionally, and he is struggling getting Linux to do a simple thing that anything else can do, right? And even Penguin's comment last night about, oh, smartphones are so complicated. No, they're not. They're only complicated if you try to install like some backwater OS Linux on there. But if you pick up an iPhone, it's as intuitive as it gets. And if you have a little bit of trouble, they have a store where you can go and a genius will walk you through it. And it's like the
Not a
simplest thing in
genius,
the world.
Not a genius.
They
just
call
a
themselves that.
teenager.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, but
they
they
call
call them
themselves a teen.
geniuses.
It's like their
Oh, they
name for
call
their
them
the Apple
employees.
Genius. You go-
I know
you
it
go
sounds
talk to a
kind of
genius.
funny if you don't know your.
No,
what
I was
is
just like
meaning.
genius.
In a
That's just like
genius.
a teenager.
Either way, right? They leave like tablets in the middle of Africa, right? And kids pick it up and they go like, "Oh, we figured this out already.
Yeah.
we've already hacked into your network, and we're now trying to get scam for the Nigerian prince, right?" But if you put like some weird OS on your Android phone that doesn't have Google services, right? You're making your life more difficult
Yeah.
unnecessarily.
I don't have a comment. I just have no comment.
Of course,
But,
because you got to do a show with them.
I love doing the show with Penguin. And the thing is, like, when there's like a balance to be struck, I think, and like I appreciate people, and not just him, but people like him who are that serious about that kind of thing. That's why I'm thinking like I could find something in my life where I could be a little better at security, because I've been just like letting everything go recently.
But don't pretend like it's mainstream, and don't pretend like it's easier than the mainstream stuff. It's
yeah,
not.
I've never said it's easier.
Well, is it? Are you doing it as a statement, or do you really think you're hiding anything?
Well, the thing is,
he
like,
does.
I think that you can definitely hide stuff if you go, like, if you just
Deep
do little
enough?
steps here and there. There's a whole OPSEC realm. I could start watching Naomi Brock videos and
Yeah.
figuring out what, like, something I could change about making things more
Look,
secure for me.
I don't remember the name of the company, but there's a company out there that their software is only available to security professionals and like law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
And they break into like every Android phone, and they struggle breaking into, and they have not broken into like the latest Apple OS.
Huh.
So if you want to be secure in your device, right, the only way to be completely secure in your device present day is with an iPhone.
Except for the fact that your iPhone will now tell on you directly to the cops.
Only if you turn on all those other features, right? If you don't turn on iCloud and you don't back anything up, and you have everything secure on device behind encryption, they can't break it. Like the encryption breaking company that only law enforcement can use can't break it, or hasn't been able to break it yet. But they bring out like the new Samsung or the new like Pixel phone or whatever. They're like, "Yep, cracked it."
Wow.
Right?
I'd love to hear if any callers have any opinions on this. Seriously, like, if you disagree with us, I want to hear about it. Like, I'm very interested in the topic, but I don't have much
I think
more to
I heard
claim
somewhere
about
that iPhone has bent the knee. Apple has bent the knee to the government in like letting them, like giving them access recently in like the last couple years.
Right, but not on the device. They said, well, if you would have told us, right, we have it on iCloud, and we would have given you access to our servers if you provided us with a warrant, right? But if your device is encrypted and you're not backing anything up to the cloud, right, they can't break it.
Like, no back
What
door.
about like Face ID? Can't they
Don't
just hold
use
your
it.
face up to it?
Yeah, I don't use that.
So for Face ID, if you want to be secure, you have to use a passcode or passphrase or password, right? If you have any biometrics, what the courts have decided is they can do anything physical. They can compel you to press your thumb to your phone. They can compel you to look into the phone. They can't compel you to speak your password. So if you're not using biometrics to open your phone,
Yeah, I don't.
right? Then you don't have to tell them the password.
Yeah, I don't know if people know this. Like, when you're arrested, a cop can legally hold your phone up to your face if you use just like the thing where it unlocks it with your face,
And if
and apparently also your thumb.
Right. And if he did that to
Print.
me, I'm like, dude, you look like an idiot because it's not going to open
Yeah.
because I don't have it turned on.
Well, it's actually kind of crazy that Dave Ridley's call was not about AI. But I did want to talk about, if you want to read it, that's totally fine.
I'm
Here either
prepared.
way.
Go ahead if you got it. I was just prepared just in case.
Okay, awesome. And I think it's like, I was almost going to say something to Ridley, but I forgot. Just I wanted to say, oh man, you should have called after we read one of these, and maybe we could talk about it. But I don't know. Maybe this isn't exactly a topic Ridley would care about just because it's AI. Like, there's a bunch of topics within AI, but this one is a woman. This is from Futurism.com. A reputable news source. Woman suffers AI psychosis after obsessively generating AI images of herself, and it says, "If only I looked like my AI version." That's ridiculous.
Then
That's
I'd get
so,
that date.
Was she crazy beforehand?
I probably, because first of all, I laughed to myself reading that, because whenever Ian and I would make AI pictures together, and like I wanted to do that, I was like, can I pay $3 and make Barbie? Because like it was like more locked down back then. You couldn't just go to Grok and ask it to make images very easily.
Okay.
And when you did, it's like you'd have to be a public figure for it to know what you looked like, or you have to have an Ian. And Ian was like, no, don't pay the $3. And he like literally made
What a cheap bugger.
he literally made a
Don't pay the $3.
I like that about Ian, so I'm fine with that. So he literally
I know you
sat
really
there.
want this, Bonnie, but $3 is breaking the bank.
No, but he did it himself, so it was fine.
all right.
He programmed a AI picture thing with my images, Coco's images, and Ian's, and we were able to make images of us before like most people had access to that, and that made me, I liked that part too. And but the thing was, almost all the pictures it made, I thought were like, it looked like me, but it was like ugly. And I was like, Ian, do I look like that? Like, I would have never been like, if only I looked like my AI version. It was like creepy looking half the time.
Some of my favorite pictures are couples caricatures.
Yeah.
Like, I
that's
much
cool.
prefer that to a photo or to some AI generated thing.
Yeah, that's true.
I like caricature artists.
Oh yeah, they do me dirt, dude, every time, bro. But I love it. I love them, bro. I'll
I've never
give them
been
the
one.
25. $30, man. But yeah, they do me dirt every time. But I'd
put that up
them.
on the wall sooner than I would like an AI generated or
For
even
sure.
a photo.
I think that's more fun, especially if you're like if you're in a place like that has those kind of hustlers on the street. Be like, this is our caricature from France. You know, this is me and my wife, and I think that makes it more fun.
Yeah,
I would love to do that with Ian. I don't think I'd just go and do it myself. Like, oh, here's a horrible picture of me, somebody making fun of me.
Yeah, but you should see if you can book one.
That would be funny.
Like go on visiting day when you go visit Ian. See if they'll allow it.
Well, they wouldn't be allowed to bring their stuff in.
Really?
So, yeah, they can't. You can't bring like pens and paper.
What if you went and sat by the fence?
Yeah.
And he just came up to the fence. I think they would get mad at us for that, honestly. But I think
not
that I
if you
can
clear it
wait
ahead of
another
time.
year
Still
or whatever.
get permission. All right.
I think I can wait another year or whatever for this. But I would
As
like
soon
to.
as Ian gets out, he's going to shave and cut his hair though, and then it won't be as fun.
Is he? Did he tell you that?
No, of course
Oh.
not. I don't talk to Ian.
I don't know why I was thinking like I don't know. Did I tell you he said that? But
No.
I don't think he's going to right away. I think
Okay.
he should do something about his beard. It's kind of like wild. But I love his
Yeah.
hair now. Now that
Okay.
it's gotten past like his shoulders
He was so clean cut, like out in the real world.
for so long.
Right. I can't imagine him like coming out and going like, no, this is the look now.
I don't know why he's doing it now. I don't know if people know what we're talking about, but Ian, the creator of Free Talk Live, he's my husband and he's in prison. And he just decided when he got there, he's like, I'm not going to come in here the whole time. And I was like, why?
Protest.
It feels like it's not you. I feel like I'm not talking to Ian. And then like eventually I did get used to it. And not only did I get used to it, like once it got really long, like recently I've been like, oh, it looks really nice. It's like kind of like giving like George Harrison.
Okay.
Except I looked up pictures of George Harrison. I was like, whoa, I think Ian's hair is actually nicer and longer. It's like really silky. He doesn't have like any bald spots, and his hair's barely got any gray in it. His beard does. It's kind of like yours. Like it's like really dark at the top, and then just some gray in the beard.
I think he's only a few months older than me. Like we're very close in age, contemporaries.
Well, yeah. So this woman obsessively was generating AI images of herself because she didn't want to look like how she actually looks. And it says, on top of the environmental, political, and social toll AI has taken on the world, it's also been linked to a severe mental health crisis in which users are spiraling into delusions and ending up committed to psychiatric institutions or even dead by suicide. I've heard lots of about that. Not as much about being committed. Have you?
Well, no, I just think that teenage girls are crazy.
No, I've mostly heard about the guys doing killing themselves over this stuff.
Oh, with the AI chatbots?
Yeah. Because guys kill themselves more often.
Yeah, they do.
And it's
are the girls the ones getting institutionalized then? Is that where it's breaking down?
I would like
guys
are
just
know.
like, I just want to be out of this world. And girls are like, I just put me in the crazy house.
I feel like a woman would be more likely to just go crazy because women are less likely to kill themselves in general because for one thing they're more scared of it.
Okay.
That's why they're less likely to shoot themselves is because a man is going to be a little bit less scared of that idea and a woman's just no, that's a terrifying idea. Even if I want to kill myself, I don't want it to be scary. They do stuff like take pills, stuff like that.
I'd much rather eat mashed potatoes out of an origami spoon.
And this is all stuff I've always heard. I'm not saying oh, I read some study about it. If I'm wrong, correct me. But it says take Caitlin Nair. Okay, take Caitlin Nair, sorry. Didn't realize that was her whole last name. Take Caitlin Nair. Writing in an essay for Newsweek, Nair discusses her experience as head of user at an AI image generator startup. A gig, she says, pulled her into the throes of an AI-induced mental health breakdown. Oh my god, I thought she was going to be writing about somebody that it happened to, but no. She's the one it happened to.
Well, I think this is not Caitlin Nair's article.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
The person writing it isn't Caitlin Nair, it's
Right.
Joe Wilkins, but she writes about such things, and it pulled her. She
Right.
writes about
And there's a link to that Newsweek article as well in this one, so you could read that as well.
she's the head of user experience. Okay.
Well, that's why.
Sorry,
She's
she's
just-
not a writer.
she's just
Why did I think-
burnt out from
yeah.
work.
She also wrote a Newsweek article. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. It's
Why doesn't this image
Burnout.
look like me? Get me the programmers now.
she doesn't want it to look like her though. I think. Well, it's as far as what that quote said. I think she wants to look like it. She wants her to look like it.
So is she typing in me but prettier? Okay, prettier. Okay, prettier. Okay,
Enhance.
prettier.
Maybe.
Enhance.
Maybe because
Bigger eyes. Pout your lips.
for one thing, I seriously feel like it makes almost everybody look a little messed up or not right.
Give it more Angelina Jolie.
Yeah. So it says in her tell-all, Nair says it began on the job where she spent upward of 9 hours a day prompting early 2023 era generative AI systems. And I gotta say, right when you read me the headline of this article, I was like, oh my gosh, me and Ian started feeling like we need to stop this because it was messing with my dreams. Like I would go to sleep and I felt like I was just dreaming a bunch of like weird images.
Okay.
Seriously. Like I was looking at so many weird prompts. We were like obsessed. Like not with ourselves. Like even when we did that thing with making it with ourselves, it was like way more fun to make coconut pictures. But
okay.
Before that, we were obsessed because it was like you can tell it make a one I remember doing was like make a 1940s backyard potluck party with like pies on the table and a pool in the back. And it wasn't that, but it was the idea of that. It was like so mind blowing that when like my little brother Jacob is 12, he'll never understand that this is mind blowing. It was mind
It'll just be
blowing.
normal to him.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
All right.
It was mind blowing that a computer could just be told what I just told you and pop up with something that's like, whoa, you've got like the back of people's heads, the right outfits, like the cat eye sunglasses, and you've got like pies on a table. It's not really there, but it's like almost there.
It's like when Photoshop put the airbrush artists out of business.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because there used to actually be literal
They had to touch it
airbrushing.
up.
Yeah.
They had to touch up photos, man. That was a thing. That was a job.
Yep. And actually I think it's so funny because I watch like these really older ladies talking about like the whole Gypsy Rose thing of like that's all I do on YouTube anymore is like listen to Gypsy Rose like gossip stuff.
She's
And-
going to end up in an asylum.
And a lot of them are like older ladies, and I laugh because like if she uses AI for something and they're like trying to call her out for it, some of the old ladies are like photoshopped, and I'm like that's not photoshopped, it's AI. Like that even just like saying photoshopped like is a sign you're an older person now. When something is clearly AI and not photoshopped.
Isn't that like one of the Gen Z catchphrases? Like that's AI for anything
No, that's
a
AI
lie?
slop.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's Gen Z. I wouldn't have. I don't know.
Yeah, we call it everything's AI slop now. I've seen so much stuff.
It is
where it's like that's a crazy video, and then you watch it again, and then you realize that it's all fake.
Yeah, that happens to me every once in a while. I'm
well,
like, oh,
it wasn't specific
yeah.
to videos though. It was used in a way to describe anything that seemed fake.
Oh yeah, well I mean it all seems fake now.
Well, I get it,
but
but if I told you I had like spam for breakfast, where you go, oh that's AI slop, like you don't believe me, like I'm telling you.
Oh,
a
that's
lie.
AI. Oh
That's
yeah,
funny.
I've heard
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that
yeah.
too. Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty funny. I haven't specifically heard somebody use it like that.
That's like
but
saying that's a lie. You're just saying that's AI.
That's
not
right. But that's what I'm saying. It's like the Gen Z, Gen whatever, Alpha,
that's like
whatever.
that's more of a Gen Alpha.
Okay,
thing.
whatever.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, I don't know. All I know is like my
I'm not
brother
trying to use it.
laughs at the number 6'7", and I'm like, oh yeah, it's that whole thing. Like what? There's nothing funny about that. Literally
not to you because you're old.
Exactly.
Let them have it.
Exactly. There's not one funny thing about it to me at all. And it's like we always play like dominoes and all kinds of games where you keep a score, and it's like if I get 67, he's like, Bonnie, you have 67, and I'm like, I don't get it. And then I'm like, oh yeah, 67. And it's like it's the epitome of old.
I get it. Yeah, because they're mile marker 419.9. Why? Because our generation stole all the 420 mile markers.
Oh my gosh, really?
We stole all the speed limit 69 markers.
Whoa.
Right? Anytime those numbers were there, like they
But I
come down.
understand why those are funny. Like even
Yeah.
the explanation that has been given to me about 6'7" is not funny.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Because you're old.
No, I don't think it's just that I'm old. I think that they're pretending that it's funny.
Okay.
And I'll stand by that.
That's literally what's funnier than 24, 25.
Exactly. Like, but the thing is,
Okay.
like, there's actually a funny thing about that in that, like, SpongeBob and Patrick were being so ridiculous.
That's the whole point. They're just rage baiting.
No,
you
no,
guys.
that's the thing.
So
SpongeBob
turn it
and
around and
Patrick.
just go like, that's AI, dude.
You're in that joke about it's funnier than 24, 25. It's like, oh my gosh, they're so ridiculous. Nobody's laughing because they're like, whoa, 25 is funny. See what I'm saying? So I do believe they're rage baiting people. I don't believe they actually think it's funny. Like, the idea of what is funny doesn't just change because I hit 29 years old. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, I can see that being like, oh, it's funny to us because we're rage baiting you, and it's not funny to you because you're 29. I get that. But I'm gonna say it's objectively not funny. Like, not subjectively. You can actually see what's funny about it if you were 12. Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
I ran out of breath ranting about that.
Well, I think it's just you're either in on it or you're not.
That's exactly what I'm saying. If it's like it's not funny, but we're in on it and we're rage baiting people, I accept that. What I don't accept is that no, it is funny. Just if you
So
I guess
there's
you
no
don't get
boomers
it.
around, they don't laugh at it.
Wait, what?
I said when there's no boomers around, they don't laugh at it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they do it for yes.
They don't.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yes.
Do the boomers have a joke that only boomers laugh about? I bet they
Hating
do.
their wife.
What do you mean?
Buying a
just
house
like
off a single earner
Well, they make
salary.
jokes about how much they hate their wives.
To the moon with you.
I gotta go home to my
to the
No
stupid
respect.
wife.
I get no respect.
Yeah, I know respect.
Okay, maybe.
Boomers hate their wives.
I could see that
It's because
being...
they weren't allowed to divorce them.
I just think this is a brand new thing in that the boomers actually think that's funny. Like, they're like, ha ha ha, get it? Oh, you get it. But they're not just saying it to rage bait
Okay.
Gen Z. See what I mean?
It'd be hard to prove that they're not laughing at 6'7", when you're not looking.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
guess
the ghost
so.
in Mario. Only when you're looking at them. Stops when
I
you're
see.
looking at them.
Yeah, that's literally what I think.
Chase
6
you
seconds.
down, and then you turn around. It's like, oh, nope.
Like, I don't think no kid is sitting there scrolling and they see 6'7" and they go 6'7", like to themselves. Like where you see 6'9" and you go nice, just like in your head automatically. I think it's more of like somebody says 6'7" like in a setting,
but a group
like
of
as
them.
a teacher, and then so the kid can go 6'7", and then everybody freaks out, and
Yeah.
that's the fun of it, is the freak out of the group at the 6'7".
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I think that is
Chicken jockey.
exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Because you're old.
No, what's it from?
From the Minecraft movie.
Oh, it's also okay. All right.
They were
That
literally
sounds
like they went to the extreme of tearing apart theaters and throwing literal chicken at the screen when
But
that
I
scene
don't
came
think
up.
I just had to think about it. Minecraft is definitely not Gen Alpha. Minecraft is a
Yes,
Gen
it
Z
is.
thing.
It's transcendental.
No, it could be both, but it's not
Yeah.
only a Gen Alpha
Well, but
thing.
the-
Like, it's definitely
Do
more
you know
Gen
about
Z.
the chicken and jockey thing? The trend.
I
where they
remember
would-
that there were people like throwing stuff in
Theaters.
but I
yeah.
didn't know about like chicken and jockey. I don't think I ever heard that before.
Well, that's when at that point in the movie when Jack Black screams "chicken jockey," the entire place would freak out and scream "chicken jockey."
No, I get
and
all this
throw
now.
The popcorn.
All I'm saying is that I
Or
don't
chickens.
think
They
that's
started bringing chickens.
That's not a Gen Alpha thing. Can't be because
I don't think boomers were throwing chickens at the
But
theater.
Minecraft was definitely biggest for like Gen Z.
Okay.
Even if it's big now. But 603-283-6160. Tell us what you think. Tell us if I'm wrong. And we have multiple different things to talk about with AI making people crazy. More coming up. 603-283-6160. It's Free Talk.
Free Talk Live.
The idea that politicians are leaders, check your premises on that one.
Cutting proof.
Really? Would you really follow Barack Obama or George Bush? Would you really follow their every command? Would you follow their suggestions? Do you believe that politicians are somehow more knowledgeable than you are? That politicians are of a special group of people? They're a special little critter that for some reason is more enlightened or educated? Constantly you can hear talking heads refer to the authorities or our leaders in Washington, and it's just patently absurd. I mean, these people are failures at life. That's why they became politicians.
Right. There's so many of them are attorneys. The good attorneys make a
money.
whole bunch of money and retire with yachts. The unsuccessful ones go into politics.
Free Talk Live. 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern at freetalklive.com.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Feature Story News in San Francisco, I'm Ira Spitzer with a look back at some of the week's top stories. The United States launched airstrikes against ISIS in the north of Nigeria on Christmas Day. U.S. President Donald Trump said they were to send a message to insurgents in the country who he claims are persecuting Christians. FSN's Jagruti Dave has more from Washington.
Donald Trump has been threatening military intervention in Nigeria for some time, and this was the justification he gave for these strikes, which he described as deadly in a social media post. He said ISIS terrorist scum have been targeting and viciously killing primarily innocent Christians. He added, "Merry Christmas to all, including the dead terrorists, of which there will be many more if their slaughter of Christians continues." US Africa Command said their initial assessment is that multiple ISIS terrorists were killed in ISIS camps. The strikes were coordinated with the Nigerian government, whose foreign minister said they shared intelligence with the US.
India and Bangladesh summoned each other's envoys over protests outside their diplomatic missions as already tense ties spiral. The latest round of formal protests come after right-wing groups staged protests in several Indian cities over the killing of a Hindu garment worker in Bangladesh over allegations of blasphemy. FSN's Kshitij Nagar has more from New Delhi.
The summoning of the Indian High Commissioner by Bangladesh is the second such instance in as many days. Bangladeshi officials raised objections over protests and what they describe as a failure to curb demonstrations and targeting its diplomatic missions. The High Commission in Delhi remains under heavy police deployment, with security tightened and police forces deployed. The killing of a Hindu man in northern Bangladesh earlier in the month triggered public anger in India and sharpened concerns over minority safety. Indian authorities say they are closely tracking developments. The escalation comes amid broader political uncertainty in Bangladesh following the ouster of former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina earlier this year.
U.S. President Trump announced a new type of battleship set to be used by the U.S. Navy, and it is one named after himself. FSN's Mitch McCann reports.
Standing beside the Defense Secretary and the Secretary of State, Donald Trump announced that the US will build 2 new Trump-class battleships. Mr. Trump told reporters on Monday he is calling them the Golden Fleet and said eventually there'll be 25 of them. Mr. Trump said the new ships will have 100 times the force and power of any other battleship ever built, adding there will be nothing else like them. The president said that the US has not built a battleship since 1994 and said each one will be the largest in the history of the world. He said they will command respect, but added that the world already respects America. Mitch McCann, New York.
From Bureaus Worldwide, this is FSN. The U.S. confirmed it carried out a strike on an alleged drug smuggling boat, killing one person. Along with the seizure of another Venezuelan oil tanker over the weekend, it continues the pressure campaign against Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro. FSN's Nick Harper reports from Washington.
The US military confirming that it had killed what it called one narco-terrorist. It released footage of that strike, with the US Southern Command confirming on X that it had carried out the attack upon the direction of Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. It said the boat had been transiting along known narco-trafficking routes. But all of this as Venezuela has called for an urgent meeting at the UN Security Council to push back on what it's called the aggression of the United States. China and Russia both coming out with strong support for Caracas, with China saying that the US was in serious violation of international law with its continued actions against Venezuela, its oil tankers and alleged drug smuggling boats. I'm Nick Harper in Washington.
A car bomb killed a top military official in Moscow. FSN's Daria Bondarchuk reports from the Russian capital.
A car bomb exploded in southern Moscow on Monday, killing General Fanil Sarvarov. He headed the Operational Training Directorate of the Russian Army's General Staff. The top military official was blown up in the parking lot of his apartment building, reportedly minutes after he sat in his car and traveled just a few meters. He became the third person of his rank to be killed in car bombing incidents over the past 12 months. Russia's investigative committee says Lieutenant General Sarvarov was killed in an explosion possibly orchestrated by Ukrainian intelligence services. Daria Bondarchuk, Moscow.
That was a look at some of the week's top stories. Ira Spitzer reporting.
Coming up a little later, the 10 best careers for someone at your level of attractiveness.
Oh, but right now we have something truly incredible for you. Kenneth Quinn is a real-life psychic medium who claims that he can communicate with dead acquaintances. He's written a new book. It's called Small Talk from Beyond, Speaking with Distant Relatives and Friends of Friends Who Have Passed.
Hi,
Good
Kenneth.
to see you. Now, Kenneth, you've written that you're able to connect people with the spirits of their old college professors or roommates that they didn't really know that well. When did you realize that you had this gift?
Well, it was the day after my cousin's friend's wife's funeral. I was at home and I suddenly felt a presence in the room with me. And I heard a voice say, "It's Vicky. Vicky Solchek, Dale's wife."
Wow.
We made a Tim's birthday thing a while back, and we talked about how hard it is having a cat.
Fascinating.
This has been so amazing.
This has been fabulous. Thank you, Kenneth Quinn, for being our guest. Stay with us because coming up next, we're going to show you how to lose some of that excessive weight by constantly picking at your skin.
This is the Onion News Network.
We're still not sure why you'd want to watch, but our video feed is streaming nightly for free at cam.freetalklive.com. Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control, and 603-283-6160. That's 603-283-6160 is the phone number to call in. Get your last call of the year into Free Talk Live, and maybe even tell us your resolution, New Year's resolution if you have one, but also you don't have to call in about that. You can call with whatever's on your mind. 603-283-6160. And with you on Free Talk Live tonight, we've got me, Bonnie.
Angelo.
And Rich.
And I did want to get into what made this lady crazy with AI. Like, did she actually get committed? I'm interested in that, too. This article from Futurism.com. This woman whose name is Nair, like it's her last name, but it's Caitlin Nair, wrote an essay for Newsweek, but she is actually the head of user experience at an AI image generator startup. She said it pulled her into the throes of an AI-induced mental health breakdown. And, Ian is always asking me things. He'll be like, ask Jacob if he, prefers AI to human contact, just stuff like that.
He's concerned?
And Jacob
just
is like,
curious?
Oh, this is what he's asked him. And in fact, actually, that's not always on the phone. Sometimes we go visit him and Ian will be like, so Jacob, if one of your friends was to tell you they're dating an AI chatbot, what would you say? And yes, in a concerned tone.
Okay.
And Jacob will be like, I'd tell them they're a loser. And I'm like, oh, okay, good. Like stuff like that.
Well, I mean, I don't have one, but at the same time, I don't text a lot of people, and I know it's difficult to get a response from family.
Yeah.
Right? Like I got a question for you. I know we don't talk for like months, but I don't get a response back.
Yeah.
Right? Or I could go to an AI and get a quick response to anything I ask whenever I want, however they want to phrase it. Right? So it's more responsive than real people, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's instantly
I don't know how
responsive,
quick people
but
respond to you guys when you text them.
I don't know if that's the same, though, because it's like, I would wait a little while for a real human contact as opposed to like, oh,
Sure.
this chatbot that's just going to kiss my butt and stuff.
Well, that's it. Well, waiting a little while and or like not getting a response at all,
Mhm.
right? Like even my son, right? I don't text him a lot, but sometimes I'll have a general question like, hey, can you get your I asked him like, hey, can you get your mom's recipe for like shrimp linguine?
Mhm.
And he's like, yeah, sure, no problem. And like 3 weeks go by, I'm like, hey, any luck on that recipe? Like, totally forgot about it.
Yeah.
You know, like, all right, well, good chat. Like,
That is so typical family, though. Like, I
right.
always.
But if I ask an AI chatbot for shrimp linguine recipe, I'll get it instantly.
Yeah, but if you're asking your AI chatbot to indulge in your sexual fantasies, you're on a whole different ball. You're dating this AI chatbot. That's
going to be more responsive than trying to sext a random chick that I'm trying to hook up with off a dating app anyway.
Maybe not off the
Yeah,
dating
but to a
app.
13-year-old boy, that's dangerous.
Okay.
You got to learn how to actually interact with other people. Like that, you're right at that age where you're supposed to be learning how to handle yourself. And if you just forego learning how to interact with another individual, for the chatbot, you're never going to develop those skills to begin with, and then you are really stuck.
No, I think they'll figure it out. Because if the boys are doing it, the girls are doing it too, and they'll both be equally inept and awkward in social situations. But human history figures out a way to, put one into two.
I guess that is true. Like, I'm sure there were people. I guess it's true that mostly people are going to figure it out and be all right in the end. But
just wait till they get to college. They'll put the chatbot down. They'll go to a party. They'll figure it out.
I'm sure that, like, in the early 2000s, people are like, no, kids are on these websites. They're going to be socially inept. You see what I mean?
And before that, it was the magazines. And before that, it was whatever it was.
These magazines.
The photos.
That's true. But, I mean, have
Photoshop.
people have
Penthouse letters, it was just words. You could get off on words.
Has like manners deteriorated over time? Or I guess like I feel like people don't know how to behave in public right now. And that's kind of like part of the issue.
That's true. That's true.
Did you know how to behave in public?
Part of that,
as a teenager though?
I mean,
and if you did you actually like follow through?
No, but you had to feel your way out.
Okay.
You were able to that's part of being a teenager.
Do you know how to like set your table properly when you're about to like serve dinner? You know which side the fork but do you do it?
No.
Isn't it more about how to conduct yourself than like
manners? That's just, I mean, like
that's what we're talking about.
Not being not. I guess I meant manners too literally. Like that you're taking it as like table etiquette. I'm saying like how you like act in public to where you're not like.
Yeah, old people used to wear a suit out and shave every day, right? And then like clothing deteriorated, hygiene deteriorated. It's a complete.
Well,
it's a total
that answers his
deterioration.
question, though. I think because he's saying like, well, even though we're saying like, oh, people always have freaked out, and then people have been okay. Well, to his point,
are people okay?
Things have deteriorated a bit.
You don't have to wear a suit out anymore. It's like you don't have.
I don't want to like.
You don't have to put on
wear
your
a
Sunday
suit.
best to go to church.
Like my grandma did tell me about how when she was first started working at this like office job she has, I'm not sure exactly how to describe it really quickly. She always had to wear like tights and heels and a skirt, and when they just like got rid of that thing, she was so happy. And I was like,
yeah,
that would really suck, honestly. Not because I'm like, oh, it's sexism, and that's not what her problem was either. It's just like irritatingly uncomfortable just for to be in the office.
But
like,
did a suit really affect how you spoke to another individual? Like, because if you're just skipping out on learning how to talk to another person for a computer, then you're not going to know how to talk to a person.
Yeah, and I'm saying they'll figure it out. And another example for you, Bonnie, like my dad was a manager for an office for most of his career, right? And I remember as a kid, right, he was very anti-tattoo and very anti-male piercings of any kind. Mm-hmm. It was like, if I see a guy come in here with like tattoo and piercings, he's just not getting the job. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not hiring that. I don't care how good he is. I don't want that look in my office, right? And then being a manager for 20 years, right, 20 years later, you can't hire anybody if they don't have a tattoo and piercing because that's the only people that walk in the office. So he's like, I have to now. I have to like break my value system in order to staff this office. There's nothing I can do about it, right? But like that was the etiquette of like his day versus the modern times, and you just got to get away with it. You got to go away from it. And so like, oh, these Gen Alpha Betas, whatever, right? They don't know how to talk to people. Well, yeah, but they'll figure it out when it's necessary. Or you'll be gone and they'll do whatever it is they do when it's there. Like the world is for the young. They'll figure it out and you'll have to adapt because they'll have the technology that makes sense to them. And you'll be caught up like old people are now trying to figure out how to use Linux.
I don't know if you guys are the right people, like hosts to ask. I feel like Riley would figure it out. Ian would figure it out. But I'm trying to think of the name of like one of Terrence McKenna's friends or like associates. And it started with an A, I think. And he would do like, he talked about psychedelics in the 90s and stuff and 80s. And he had like a little show. And I watched a little show of his and I can't remember what it's called or anything. I was trying to look at my YouTube search or like history and I can't remember. And he did this show that was really interesting to me because it was all about like what's in a suit, and he talked about how the English businessman popularized the suit all over the world and actually took over. Even in Japan, they used to have something else, and what did they have? It was like a kimono, and other things like it, like slight variations, and it was like absolutely it was like what do you need a suit to be like respectable and stuff like this. What the kimono was perfectly respectable.
That's why criminals and gangsters in the 30s were wearing suits because they wanted to look normal. Mm-hmm. That's why black folks had the zoot suit, right?
Zoot suit,
like oh yeah, look that up.
I've heard that, but I don't know what it is.
Zoot suits are cool.
Yeah, with the super wide shoulders.
Yeah, baggy pants, right? There's like their little flair on like being respectable in public.
Nice.
Right? They'd call each other man because they were tired of white people calling them boy. Right? So they have their own little thing on there. I've got like a bright yellow pinstripe. It's amazing. Pictures of it somewhere.
Well, one of the points that guy made about the suit was like he was saying we should like instead of going and using the suits, we should instead we should popularize the Japanese kimono. I don't know if kimono's the name of the man's one. It could be. I could be wrong, but he was saying because it's like totally respectable and everything, but it's just that it's comfort, and he like really broke this up in a way I was like, wow, I didn't think he was going to get this much out of just like analyzing like the idea of a suit. And he was like, today's society, people think it's like somehow you're going to get more done, you're going to be more respectable just because you're uncomfortable.
Yeah, unbifurcated pants really suits the male anatomy better than standard pants.
What's unbifurcated? Like
there's no like a kilt or a kimono or a lava if you're Polynesian, right?
Or whatever.
There's nothing like riding up against your dangly bits.
Yeah,
right? Whereas females don't have dangly bits.
Like the Afghan people wear.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't know what they call it.
Yeah, same thing though, right? There's nothing riding up your dangly bits. Like pants are for girls because they don't have anything there to like.
That's kind of a good point. It's like
it's backwards.
And it's always been backwards, yeah.
Because they popularized the suit instead of the kimono.
Yeah, I can't find it. I searched kimono and then
don't worry about it.
Yeah, just
call in if you know the male terminology for the Japanese formal wear.
Oh, it says the male version of a kimono is called a kimono,
Well,
so
there you go.
I was wrong about whatever I was saying there. I feel like there's multiple ones he brought up, but also he brought up like the Indian version of it, the I think Thai version of it. They're all like slightly different, but really like they're also actually really awesome. And
It's a lot more comfortable.
But the problem is like you're gonna be like, hey, let's try to popularize this thing, but most people aren't gonna go out and wear something unless it's already normalized.
Well, couldn't you just argue for the toga at that point?
Yes.
I feel like
He brought up the toga and said it's just not superior to the kimono.
To the kimono?
He had like reasons. I don't remember why now. But yeah, but the thing is, it hasn't already been normalized, most people aren't just going to be like, you know what, I like the kimono, I'm going to wear it, even though no one else likes it. You see what I mean? Like, you're still going to be seen as weird.
Yeah,
in
you're still a
America.
weeb.
And then somebody's going to be like
Just do it.
thinking
It's more
you're
comfortable.
You're that.
Yeah,
like-
if you like it, I mean, go for it.
or somebody's going to also say like, oh, well, you can't wear that because you're not Japanese. That's pretty ridiculous.
The only reason you haven't seen me in a kilt in a long time is because I got fat. I don't fit all my kilts anymore, and I don't want to buy more kilts for fat rich.
They seem expensive.
They are.
Yeah.
That's why.
Thick materials.
And I've got enough for slim rich.
It's like 200 yards of fabric or something, right?
I don't buy
maybe
that
not
good
200
ones.
yards, but like
I
it's
don't
a
know.
crazy amount of fabric that they fold into those, right?
So the great kilt, like the like top end ones, are 8 yards.
8 yards.
Yeah.
So that's like 20 feet of fabric, not
24.
24.
As long as we're going to do the math. Yeah.
I was just guessing. I was ballparking.
Okay. And then they've got like the 5 yard, smaller kilts. And I buy the cheap ones that you just wrap around once, and it's already like sewn and pleated for you, and I don't have to go through the rigmarole.
Well, yeah, but how long would that be if it was already like sewn into place? If you undid the stitching, is it still like?
It's not going to be 8 yards.
Okay.
The 8 yard one is the one like you wrap, you throw over your shoulder, and I think Mark might have a great kilt.
I've seen him. He still wears his kilt to like Liberty Forum and stuff.
Yeah, but he doesn't wear the great kilt though. But I think he has a great kilt. Don't quote me.
Isn't it like one that you can make it into pants if you need to? You can like wrap it up and like turn it into pants
you got
somehow?
8 yards of material.
Yeah.
This says for a large man's kilt, you'll typically need 6 to 8 yards of double width fabric, around 54 to 60 inches wide. I thought 200
So like
sounded
5
pretty
feet
crazy.
tall and 8 feet long.
But still, it is like
Yeah, you
a
got to
lot.
fold it.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
I guess you could
yards,
fold
like, and that's 3 feet is a yard.
Yeah, we did the math.
Well, either way.
You weren't with us for that part of the show.
Yeah, I was Googling it. I was Googling large men's kilt, how many yards of fabric. I thought 200 sounded pretty crazy, but at the same time.
It is. That would take forever. That's 2 football fields.
If you're like talking about the doubling, maybe, then it's like,
Okay.
Yeah, that was me just not
Guessing.
knowing what I was talking about, dude. That's my bad.
It's fine.
Sorry.
You will clothe an army with 200 yards of Highland wool kilts.
Well, that's pretty funny. Well,
But either way, they're more comfortable. Like, bottom line, they're more comfortable to wear. They're easier to wear, right? I don't know your carry situation might vary. Like I haven't figured that all out.
The point is like when
At that point, you just got to rock like a leather fanny pack at the front of it.
The Sporan, you already do. It's part of the gear.
Oh well, then why don't you just carry in that?
I don't.
What's
then
a
you gotta pack-
Sporan?
That's the little leather thingy that hangs in the front.
Oh, like a pocket.
Yeah. You get,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
one
apparently-
pocket.
I mean, that's what my
Back in the
grandma
day?
carried. That's what she used. She just had a fanny pack that had her wallet and her gun in it, and that's how she carried.
Apparently, like back in the day, like all clothing didn't have it didn't have pockets. You just had these like detached pockets, and you'd tie that around your waist, like as a woman, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you had your pocket, but it's
I
like a
get
little
it,
bag.
but like
that.
concealing your holster is a little bit more challenging when you got one pocket to fit everything. Phone,
Couldn't
wallet.
you just wear like a side pocket, like side
You
leather,
could.
like add like a leather pouch for
There's
your phone?
plenty of ways to do this.
Yeah, can't you just add pockets at that
Sure.
point?
But now you're not. Now you're open carrying.
Well, not if you like get a side pocket for like your phone or your keys.
Okay.
Or you could put your keys on a chain.
Okay.
That connects, like
I've got
at
you.
some point.
And
you
this
know,
is
you
kilt
could make it
specific?
work.
I've got a belt gun with a whole bunch of like Molly pockets on there because I'm trying to figure this out. So I just haven't gotten there yet.
This is just
I'm
kilt
open to
specific?
suggestions.
Like how you
so
could
like
carry
a
with your
carry
kilt?
belt. Oh yeah, that might be tough to. Have you looked at the? I don't know how
Because the
the
kilt rides up here.
But you need suspenders, right?
No.
Do you wear suspenders with
Not
the
with
kilt?
kilt. No.
Oh well, I was saying I thought your problem was less about riding up. I thought it was like you're talking about it falling down.
No.
Like
you,
from the
no, you
weight
wear
of
kilt.
the-
enough space.
You wear a belt.
Yeah.
But if you wear the belt and you got like an inside the waistband holster,
Mhm.
right? Your holster's like up by your ribs instead of down by your hip.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And that's if you want to conceal it,
I dropped my gun recently because
Have you
I
seen
had,
those neoprene carry?
like the belly
things?
bands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's probably the way you.
That's
have
still
going to
be like up at your nipples though, because the kilt's can still be above the belly.
Well, but if you can just, I guess, yeah. If you want to,
You're gonna flash everybody when you're like.
yeah, you'd have to go from the bottom up, dude.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Huh?
It takes
this is a survival
thought this through.
situation. For you're just
Yeah.
start
Ankle gun at
splashing
that
everyone.
point.
Okay, it's still kind of open carrying.
Yeah, that
because
is still kinda open
The
with
kilt
the
only
kilt,
goes down to
yeah.
your knees.
Well,
Thigh carry.
Thigh, yeah, garter.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
still
still
gotta
got
look at
like drop holster. The kilt could be. You could get a baggy enough one for like a drop holster.
No, because the drop holster like wraps around your leg.
have you tried that? Like a thigh one with a kilt?
Yeah, I've got the drop leg, but the drop leg attaches on the exterior of the belt, so you'd have to figure out a way to rig it so it drops on the interior of the belt through the kilt and then still wrap around your leg down the bottom. And then your draw would still have to be lift the kilt with one hand, so with your off hand, so you can successfully pull the gun out of the holster with your carry hand.
And if you're freeballing, you're
See,
just splashing
it
everyone.
made sense that people just wore swords and knives.
Okay.
Way easier back then.
Sure. Again,
I
open
think they
carry
would've
is less
chose
of a
guns
problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm
too.
saying. Like
Okay.
they didn't have this problem because they didn't have guns like, as much when they wore kilts.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Kilts weren't built with guns in mind.
Right.
Yeah, pistols especially.
But they ought to be.
Well-
yeah, if you're going to sling a rifle over your shoulder, forget about it. Who
Yeah.
cares? Yeah.
My main point for bringing up the kimono and stuff is just like, I guess it's true. Like, let's just stick to Japan, so we're not like talking about cultural relativism. In Japan, a 200-year-old person who just comes back to life or whatever would be judging the Japanese for their business suits. See what I'm saying? Like, wow,
Yeah.
this is just crazy. You guys are wearing this instead of kimonos. You know, see what
How
I'm
did you
saying?
let the West dominate our culture?
That's a good point. Maybe they would say that.
It was an old movement, and it might still be like a generational thing. But there was some interest in the younger generations returning to that
Kimonos?
and rejecting like Western attire. Right? They were reverting back to their more traditional Japanese attire, and rejecting the Western values in favor of something more traditional. So
Which
again,
sucks for English people because then they just have to wear suits.
They invented
yeah,
it.
suck.
Yeah, they're stuck with it.
They also invented
You
wait, no,
invented
not
it.
kilts.
You want it like right up against your
Yeah, I
dangly
guess
bits.
you can wear it if you want to.
I wonder if like the English had their own kind of kilts, because I was about to say they invented that too, but then I was like, wait, no, that was Scottish. So
Scottish, Irish. So
Well,
there's some
pants
Welsh.
used to be huge. I'm thinking like in Italy, you think like Renaissance style pants. They were super like poofy, and then you had like so much room inside of them, like big billowy things.
Yeah.
Right. So like they were still pants, but
And
you
you-
still
and-
had like room
and you
for
you
everything.
can blame the rising cost of fabric, right, for the narrow pants you got now, because that was part of it. Like the reason pants used to come up like to your nipples was because that's the way it was. And like if we just cut off the fabric and make people wear it at the waist, we'd save a whole bunch of money on fabric, and so they did.
Wow, it says while the kilt is famously Scottish, its modern form was actually developed by an English iron master, Thomas Rawlinson.
All right.
And he was simplified the great kilt. Oh, I didn't know great kilt was like a term you were using. I thought you were just saying I think Mark has a great kilt.
No, he has. I think Mark legitimately has a great kilt.
Oh, and that's just like a bigger form or something?
Yeah, that's like the 8-yard thick wool. Like you can convert it to whatever you want, throw it over your shoulder.
But it does say England didn't have a native kilt tradition. That's basically more what.
So so they just wore suits the whole time? What did they? I wonder what medieval English people were. Canvas bags, burlap sacks, right? Burlap sack pants. I don't know, for their corn. These peasants.
No, they just had the high water pants, right? That went
like
up
everywhere else in Europe that you kind of think of. It just says they generally wore trousers,
knickerbockers,
breeches, waistcoats, coat shirts, and stuff. At the same time, that's kind of crazy to think of. Like, it's kind of crazy to think of, like...
Well, because they invaded the entire world and took fashion with them and brought no spices back home that taste good.
They're neighboring people, like, right at the same time. Like, the Scottish wearing kilts, the Englishmen are wearing trousers, breeches, waistcoats, and... It's just interesting to think of. I just never thought of it till now.
That's why they're so uptight. Scottish and Irish people are so laid back.
That does actually
sound
sound
they're more comfortable
right.
all the time.
That sounds literally right. I've been watching these things. They've just been like, YouTube been just showing it to me in a lot of its short form.
Gypsy Rose?
No, not at that exact time. It's like people who like put on really old clothing and talk about them, and like during the breeches, waistcoat era type stuff, like even babies wore so many different layers of stuff, but they always like to point out like, oh, these all have like a really specific purpose. Like if a baby was going out to play, they put a whole other outfit on top of them that was kind of like this like huge, man, it had a name and I forgot. Not a petticoat, but like it was just to keep them from getting their normal clothes dirty.
Yeah,
but that sounds
they
like,
weren't doing laundry once a week or every couple of days.
That's probably why.
And they were doing it by hand.
Yeah.
I'm not washing that again.
Yeah, or you get like one pair of shoes or like two pairs of shoes. You have like your saddle shoes and then your sneakers.
Pinafore.
Okay.
That's what it's called.
What
The thing that they would wear outside of their clothes. Yeah. But then they had, like this holds up this, and it seemed like you'd take like 18 years getting dressed.
That's why they all woke up at 5 a.m. to get to their 9 o'clock job.
After they had already woke up 6 hours earlier.
Because they have to go by horse.
Yeah.
Or 5 hours earlier. I don't know.
I'm going to string that one out. Another half an hour or so.
Maybe they woke up in the middle of the day or middle of the night to just start getting dressed. Like, you know how they would wake up in the middle of the night? He claims it's the best way to sleep.
To wake up in the middle of the night?
No, my great grandma just pitter patters. She gets up.
Oh, okay.
She wakes up at like 4:30, 3:30,
You know that term
4:30 in the
too?
morning. She pitter patters around, does a couple things, drinks some water, check on the fire, whatever, look around the house, and then goes back to bed for another couple hours, and then wakes up for the day.
Did she always do that, or
she grew up on a farm, so it was kind of like you got to wake up and put more logs on your stove, right?
Okay.
You
That
grow up
makes
with like
sense, yeah.
wood heat.
Yeah.
So like pitter pattering is just the way people did it forever because you had to stay warm during the winter.
I got to be at work at 9 a.m. If I'm like up from 3 to 5, my day's ruined.
Yeah. But if you wake up at 3 a.m. because it's cold in your house, you're you gotta wake up because you gotta.
Yeah, no, I get up to like pee and do all that kind of stuff.
A little pitter patter.
But I don't pitter patter. I don't even open my eyes if I can feel my way to the bathroom.
Sometimes
I'm
if
not
I,
trying
like-
to wake up.
Sometimes if I'm like, I cannot go back to sleep and this is annoying, I'll go drink milk, and milk really helps you fall asleep. It's not just like a silly little myth. I was shocked last year. 603-283-6160. It's History Talk Live. No, I'm just kidding. You could call in with that whatever you want. More Free Talk Live coming up.
Hey, you are going to love the movie Victimless Crime Spree. It's hilarious, heartwarming, and carries a ton of inspiring freedom messages. Feeling down about the lack of liberty in your life? You need to put on this film with some friends and have a good laugh. It's a true story about me and my friends in New Hampshire living free, singing, dancing, and getting arrested. Of course, it's all on video, and the bad guys, the cops, judges, bailiffs, and sheriffs, they all play their part like it's out of a movie or something. You would think we scripted the whole thing, but it's real life. Go ahead and have a watch, and if it's been a while, have another look. I guarantee you'll notice things now that you didn't notice before. And the best part is that you're going to walk away feeling a renewed sense of your own power. You are the master of your destiny, and you will be free in your lifetime. Victimless crime spree.
From Feature Story News in San Francisco, I'm Ira Spitzer with a look back at some of the week's top stories. The United States launched airstrikes against ISIS in the north of Nigeria on Christmas Day. U.S. President Donald Trump said they were to send a message to insurgents in the country who he claims are persecuting Christians. FSN's Jagruti Dave has more from Washington.
Donald Trump has been threatening military intervention in Nigeria for some time, and this was the justification he gave for these strikes, which he described as deadly in a social media post. He said ISIS terrorist scum have been targeting and viciously killing primarily innocent Christians. He added, "Merry Christmas to all, including the dead terrorists, of which there will be many more if their slaughter of Christians continues." US Africa Command said their initial assessment is that multiple ISIS terrorists were killed in ISIS camps. The strikes were coordinated with the Nigerian government, whose foreign minister said they shared intelligence with the US.
India and Bangladesh summoned each other's envoys over protests outside their diplomatic missions as already tense ties spiral. The latest round of formal protests come after right-wing groups staged protests in several Indian cities over the killing of a Hindu garment worker in Bangladesh over allegations of blasphemy. FSN's Kshitij Nagar has more from New Delhi.
The summoning of the Indian High Commissioner by Bangladesh is the second such instance in as many days. Bangladeshi officials raised objections over protests and what they describe as a failure to curb demonstrations and targeting its diplomatic missions. The High Commission in Delhi remains under heavy police deployment, with security tightened and police forces deployed. The killing of a Hindu man in northern Bangladesh earlier in the month triggered public anger in India and sharpened concerns over minority safety. Indian authorities say they are closely tracking developments. The escalation comes amid broader political uncertainty in Bangladesh following the ouster of former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina earlier this year.
U.S. President Trump announced a new type of battleship set to be used by the U.S. Navy, and it is one named after himself. FSN's Mitch McCann reports.
Standing beside the Defense Secretary and the Secretary of State, Donald Trump announced that the US will build 2 new Trump-class battleships. Mr. Trump told reporters on Monday he is calling them the Golden Fleet and said eventually there'll be 25 of them. Mr. Trump said the new ships will have 100 times the force and power of any other battleship ever built, adding there will be nothing else like them. The president said that the US has not built a battleship since 1994 and said each one will be the largest in the history of the world. He said they will command respect, but added that the world already respects America.
From Bureaus Worldwide, this is FSN.
You can help spread the ideas of liberty with our Patreon for just $5 per month at amps.freetalklive.com.
It's Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control, and 603-283-6160 is the phone number. 603-283-6160. If you call in, it's your last Free Talk Live call of the year. 603-283-6160. I'm interested to know if you have any New Year's resolutions, and I'm interested to know whatever you want to talk about. That's the point of Free Talk Live. And with you on Free Talk Live tonight, you've got me, Bonnie. Sorry, censored.
Busted. Angelo.
And Richie Rich.
And
if your New Year's resolution is to donate to Free Talk Live AMP Fund.
Yeah, there's amps.freetalklive.com.
Better for it.
And there's perks and benefits you can find out about at amps.freetalklive.com.
I mean, we already shouted someone out, but there's no reason it can't be your New Year's resolution too.
Yeah.
if you're hurting for something to do this year, amps.freetalklive.com.
So Charlie Kirk fans are snapping selfies in replica death tent, but I haven't even heard of this replica death tent.
No, okay. So I guess Erica Kirk, or I guess since I can say that because she's the head of TPUSA, right? So she ran AmFest. they put up a tent at America Fest that is a replica of the tent that Charlie Kirk was assassinated in for fans to go take photos in.
Whoa.
Is she a little too exuberant for a grieving widow? Because there seems to be...
Dude, I'm not going to disparage anybody.
No?
But
Okay.
No,
I think
everyone
it's,
processes differently.
I hate being told that because, like, from the first day she came out and there was, like, that video with, like, a podium and she was saying, this widow's cries will be heard around the world. I was like, oh, this isn't right at all. This is weird.
Okay.
And the thing is, like, I'm the only married woman on the panel tonight. I'm telling you, my husband is not the father of my 2 babies. I don't have any. Hers was. Hold on. Because hers was.
What aren't you telling us, Bonnie?
I don't have any kids, but
that we
still,
know of.
I love my husband so much that if he was killed in front of me, there would be no 3 days later, I'm in full glam hair and makeup giving a speech where I can make those type of sentences and like.
What if 3 days later was Porkfest and you were given the main stage?
I wouldn't be that in that. It wouldn't be that way of speaking. I wouldn't go full glam hair and makeup and act like it's like okay, it's like my close up. It's like
and
seriously, it's odd behavior.
You forgive the murderer, but then you would freak out on the people who think that the FBI is lying to us. But the FBI is like,
see, that's
notorious
the thing. Like,
for lying about
I feel like that's
everything.
even a secondary issue. You know what I mean? As far as like, oh, and then she starts seeming like a,
And forgiveness is very Christian of her.
yeah. But it's like she's selectively being forgiving. And it's also just like, I do not believe her that she forgives the shooter. If she really believes that that person shot Charlie Kirk, I don't believe it's humanly possible to genuinely forgive the person who shot your husband in front of you if you actually loved him and he's the father of your kids and stuff. See what I'm saying? Like, it's like, yeah, I believe you're able to say those words. Not that you actually can possibly believe them. Like, forgive them. Like you don't go to sleep at night like angry at all. Like that's what's required. It's like Ian was like, how do you know she doesn't forgive him? It's like, because all she can do is like say, or she can say those words. That doesn't mean that she gives him no blame when she starts getting upset, like, oh my god, why does this have to happen? And she starts spiraling. And this is just if this woman's real in any way, shape, or form. You know what I mean?
I mean, she could be real backstage, right? Like maybe she cries her eyes out backstage before and after, but then puts on the performance.
It'd be impossible
to keep the thing going.
It would still be weird. Okay,
people
just
compartmentalize, man.
Well, let's talk about this tent, the photo op that they have right now.
Sorry, let's go back to the article. You're right.
Yes, okay, but like, just think about it this way: as if Jackie Kennedy would have put something on and then had a car that was the same car that her husband had his head blown off in.
Takes
come take pictures in a replica of the car.
People go to the Auschwitz Museum.
Yeah, but like, was it one of the victims?
They are.
One of the victims
Look at the German,
set it up.
German Tinders, all bunch of like chicks in front of the Auschwitz Museum.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be like a victim of the Auschwitz going and being like, hey, I made my own.
All right.
Photo op area. Yeah, I just think that's weird. But then again, this is the first I've heard of this. Like, I didn't know what you meant by the replica death tent, so I want to get into this a little bit, see what other people are saying. It says, Charlie Kirk fans are snapping selfies in replica death tent. Attendees at America Fest, the conference held by the late Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA, have the opportunity to honor Kirk's memory by taking selfies in a replica of the tent where he was shot dead. It's just to honor him.
Where's the mannequin of Charlie Kirk himself?
That's crazy.
It's coming.
Oh my god.
Pose with Charlie.
She just found out that people will pay extra for that, so it's coming.
Exactly.
They got Disney working on one of their
It's going to be some black chick
imaginations.
playing Charlie.
No, I mean like one of those. No, I mean like the robots.
Oh, okay.
You know, like they did with Lincoln.
Okay,
that's
gotcha.
hilarious.
It'll be Charlie Kirk at America Fest.
Yeah, they have all the presidents like that.
And now you can do an AI voice, and you can just have Charlie say whatever you want him to say.
Wow.
With his imagineered body.
Back and to the left. Back and to the left.
Oh my god. I don't think he was saying that. I'm just the conference.
He's probably thinking it.
Back and to the left. Oh my god. I don't think he was thinking anything. I feel like it was like it was bleeding so much. It's just like
it was just lights on, lights out.
Yeah, that's what I think.
In shock and then lights out.
Yeah, you even makes like this like shock.
Probably didn't really feel a lot of pain with how quickly the lights went out.
Yeah, That's a good point. That's one good thing about it.
It's a humane kill.
And
yeah,
it's
at least they made it fast.
I just I still do think there are fake things about it. I got a lot of heat on Twitter because I believed this person, the Elsa than Angelo, sent me their claims that ended up being totally debunkable, but it wasn't that obvious. It was whoa, I'm totally convinced that this is why there is proof that Charlie Kirk was shot from the back. And then I found why it's not true and why that person was wrong. And I don't even necessarily think that person was lying, but people are how dare you jump to a conclusion? I was wow, am I supposed to be an expert on this before posting it to my Twitter? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean the easiest thing is there was the lack of two holes before they incinerated the body, and the claim that his neck bone stopped the rifle round.
Yeah, that's crazy. And the fact that there was no splatter behind him on this pure white thing.
The thing that throws it off for me completely is that in the indictment, they say that the father recognized the picture of the rifle that was posted, but there was no picture of the rifle posted. The picture that the New York Post used was a stock image, the picture that was floating around. So there was never an official rifle photo released. Okay. But the dad said he recognized it in the picture.
But see, that
all
just
black
goes
rifles
towards,
look the same.
There wasn't even I don't even think it was.
But that just goes towards whether or not that guy was the shooter. You know what I mean? That doesn't tell me whether or not he was shot by someone and killed. You know what I mean?
I think he's dead. I think that's. Do you think Charlie Kirk's still alive?
No, I think there's actually absolutely a possibility that he's not dead because the weird thing where he was wearing this really heavy necklace and it shot up in his shirt, pulled his shirt up, and you didn't see the hole until it came down. That could be a really crazy Imagineer built mechanism for a blood packet to go off in some kind of weird fake. There is more crazy stuff than that in movies.
If they were going to resurrect him, they would have done it around Easter time.
Not that they would resurrect him, but that he got to go live off in the tunnels or whatever Israel. I don't know what they say about the beaches of Israel.
Valhalla.
I don't know, that he's still alive and maybe he was never really Charlie Kirk. That's a character
Zionist.
He plays, and he's really some Mossad agent, and he's off doing another character now. You see what I mean?
Like Jeffrey Epstein.
And I'm not saying that's what I believe. I'm saying I absolutely hold space for the possibility.
Well, that's just because anything the federal government has given us is garbage.
They're lying.
Yeah, if the most what do they call themselves? The most transparent administration ever just feeding us garbage when it comes to the Epstein list, when it comes to this. So all these crazy things are coming out because we can't trust anything that they say. So you do have to kind of throw everything at the wall because there's no baseline. There's no actual fact here.
Some things seem more plausible than others.
Another thing that blows my mind is
not all conspiracy theories are equal.
If you compare pictures of them from way before the shooting, or it could be right before the shooting, but just before he was dead, Erica and Charlie Kirk, they have plenty of pictures touching each other's hands, and his hands are so much bigger than hers. Okay. And then you compare that to the video that came out before she even spoke out, where she puts her hands on his dead hands in his open casket. His hands are small hands that are the same size as hers.
Okay.
That's weird. And the other thing that I found weird was so that necklace was on his body, and the whole thing where it shot up in his shirt. And then when she's driving away, she holds it up in defiance. Oh yeah, the police don't need that. That's totally not evidence. See what I'm saying? That's crazy. When I first heard that, that wasn't some conspiracy theorist pointed out. I just saw that. I was oh, that's fake in some way or shape or form. It's just showing us how freaking not serious this is at the least.
Sure. But so you have all of that circumstantial evidence, I'll call it.
Yeah.
But what conclusion does that lead you towards?
I definitely don't have a conclusion because I just don't have enough information because they didn't give us enough information.
And you'll never get it because everything beyond now is just going to be speculation and conspiracy theory.
I completely agree, and I'm also not one of those people that have been losing my mind for months about it. First of all, I wasn't a Charlie Kirk fan. I found it really sad that he was dead. I was oh, I know that guy. Whoa, that's really sad. And then it just turned into whoa, it feels like people are just out and saying they would be happy with killing any of us three, anybody I know, anybody who remotely doesn't toe the line trannies are gods, and anybody who remotely is not full leftist is about to get killed. Like the climate got so crazy, but that died down so
words
much.
are violence, according to the leftists.
Right.
And if words are violence, then he's already being violent. You can be violent back.
But that died down so much that I feel it was just a bunch of big talk. I'm not as like creeped out by that idea anymore. Like if it was, if any of those people were near being able to back up the crap they were saying, like somebody would have been shot at a college campus, you know, like for being the only Republican there, stuff like that.
Well, didn't some guy just shoot 2 people at Brown?
Yep.
That's a crazy thing we didn't talk about.
That was something
with
we
the
haven't talked about, and I don't know much about it. I don't think it has to do with
scientists.
him being a Republican or something.
Well, no, it's just I don't know.
He killed someone at Brown, fled to New Hampshire, killed someone like on the way, and then killed himself at a storage facility.
No, he killed somebody at Brown, and then he killed somebody at MIT.
Yeah, that was the on the way.
On the way, and then
they had a
Hampshire?
connection, and then he ended up at a storage facility in New Hampshire, and they found him with a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Quote unquote.
Sure. Yeah.
One of
quote unquote.
the conspiracies about that is this guy was close to discovering some new law of physics, and that is like a true thing. He was like close to some physics breakthrough, and because of that, and then he just gets killed. People think that the government approached him and they're like, you can come work with us and like black budget stuff, but we got to pretend you died, and you have to come like live with a totally new identity and work on stuff for us. So that could be true.
Yeah, he could just not even be dead. That's yeah.
All these people get killed on TV could totally be dead, or not dead in my opinion, because it's like you see less crazy stuff in movie magic, and now there's AI. Like seriously, I don't know what to believe. Like when the new Gypsy Rose Blanchard FOIA documents just came out, like there's videos of her saying crazy stuff from before the murder.
Okay.
I just had to take a second to think, this is actually so unfortunate that happened in these videos are from 2013, 14, 15. And we're only getting them now because now I have to wonder if they're AI.
Yeah.
They don't seem AI at all, but that doesn't mean anything anymore.
Right.
It means nothing. There are hundreds of hours of Gypsy Rose's voice. She had a reality TV show and stuff like that. And she's been in so many documentaries. Like, it could be AI. You
Right.
know?
And this is what I've been saying for a while is like at some point, the only thing you know for sure are that which you've experienced with your 5 senses. Yeah. Right. Everything else is hearsay, and you're taking somebody else's word for it. So choose your sources wisely, so you know who is reputable enough that you can trust their information from their experience.
Yep, that is definitely true. It makes me feel like too crazy when I get down to the I can't believe absolutely anything unless I have experienced it type of thing. Well, it is definitely true. You can't believe it. And it should have been always the case. Like even boomers looking at the TV should have known they can't believe that. But they were...
Yeah. But at one point in time, there wasn't technology for that, right? So if you saw something happen live on TV...
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right? That's what happened.
Yeah, that's a good point. And now it's like, not only is the video not proof of anything, but like, let's say we're not talking about videos, just like reporting.
Yeah.
Even the movers should have known, like, oh, you shouldn't just believe. But there was like no precedent for that. It's like, well, the TV told us so, and that's the news.
Well, and they only had like 3 newscasters, right? So ABC, NBC, and CBS or whatever, right? And like those were your points of information. You got all your information from them. And if they said the same thing on each channel, right, like that was the facts.
Yep.
Even if it wasn't, there was no way to refute it.
But at the same time, if like 3 of your good friends told you like, whoa, we just came back from an event and this thing happened, like we watched this speaker say something crazy, would you be like, I don't believe that. I wasn't there. You know what I mean?
Like, that's AI.
Yeah, but that's parasocial. That's a real social relationship. Your 3 close friends. But a newscaster's parasocial. You think you know him or you recognize him because you see him every day. You don't really know his character outside of like.
What about someone you follow on X?
I don't believe most of what I read on X anymore.
Yeah, parasocial there. But does that really mean much? Like, you really don't know that I would never lie to you. You see what I mean? Like, if I came over to you guys' house and said, whoa, this crazy thing, you don't know for a fact that I would never lie to you. See what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying, like, you should be able to be like, I have a high degree of reason to believe this to be true. Well, okay, reason to accept this. That doesn't mean you should ever be like, oh, I believe it just because Bonnie said it. You see
I've
what I
heard Bonnie tell other people stories about times where I was actually there, and she was truthful in her telling of the stories. So when she tells me a story of a time where I wasn't there, I tend to believe her.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you've built that up, and I just feel like you.
But at the same time, you don't know that something won't happen where I have reason to lie to you.
You're right.
That's what I mean. It still shouldn't be a belief. But what I'm also saying is that is too far. Like, I'm making this case for this, like steel manning it or whatever. But I'm saying that's too far. Like when
Right.
you're.
But
When
so
you're
if I
getting to
wasn't
that-
there and I'm not supposed to trust anything you say when you return,
Mhm.
right? Then I just can't trust anything you say.
Yeah.
And so then you're not a trusted source.
And then you can't believe
But
anything
then
unless
nobody
you're there.
is.
Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
but then you can never get anything done. So there's that.
Yeah,
There's
that's a
the
good point.
trade-off of
right.
I'm going to trust you. I'll trust this person because I've had enough like intimate experiences, like real experiences with this person that we've built this level of trust. So I just have to at some time take face value for what they say because I don't.
I agree, and it's like, well, then you can move, you can make decisions based on that. But
And it's
we
not
do
worth
have
it to go outside and verify.
we do have a caller on the line, so I'm gonna go to the phones. Anonymous caller, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Drop it quick, just in case.
I don't know. I think that I could always dump it if I heard something. Are you
Okay.
there, anonymous caller?
I just don't want it to be who I don't want it to be. And
I thought you were...
the quicker we can not talk to that guy.
No.
As the last person we talked to this year.
No, that's that's hilarious. But no, I think that it was either that was a prank or they just didn't know they were on or something like that. Or some people call and they're like, "Oh, I was calling in. I was just trying to call to listen."
Yeah.
Something like that. But I thought you were saying hurry quick because they could cuss or something. I was
No.
I have the
I
dump
just
button.
didn't want to give him a chance.
I didn't even think about him, honestly, because he didn't call yesterday.
Oh, he's in my head.
That's hilarious.
And he's won.
Yeah, no.
He's punching
won.
the air right now.
No, I only think about him twice a week. Like when I'm doing my podcast and when I'm here.
Yeah, literally, like, I completely agree. It's like I can go my whole week and forget about that should not be named. And then I think about him as soon as, like, the phone rings. But honestly,
he's
it
gonna
did
call
today.
now. It's been brought up.
I don't know if he always listens, but
I will also say, going back to the other topic, before you take that, even with the parasocial relationship, right? Nothing destroys that trust more than hearing them be wrong about a subject in which you have intimate information.
Yeah.
oh,
Right,
like
'cause-
if I came in and I was like, you won't believe what I just heard, and you actually know for sure I'm wrong.
Right. If I'm an expert in a field and they've talked about that field, right, and they're completely off base and wrong,
Mhm.
right, in my mind, that destroys the trust I have with anything else they talk about. Because if they were wrong about something I'm intimately familiar with, then they're probably wrong about most of the stuff they talk about, and they're just wrong.
Well, I'm going to try him one more time, or her. You have another chance, anonymous caller. Are you there? Can you hear us?
So one is unscreened, but you have caller ID, and Richie Rich knows who I am and doesn't want to talk to me because it's not that I've been shadow banned.
No, it's that you're not the person I was thinking about.
Yeah, that's not
Richie
who we were
Rich.
saying when we were. No, it's not showing. It says anonymous. I'm telling you, it doesn't say a
Richie
name.
Rich,
yes, sir.
Respectfully, one only need to look at you to know what your New Year's resolution should be.
Yeah, to shave and lose weight.
If Derelict can pull it off, maybe you should drop the pasta and eat the shrimp.
Well, why don't you
Shrimp
send in a
doesn't
picture,
put it
Mr.
on.
Anonymous?
No, I don't care. I
Well,
know
if
I'm
didn't
fat. I got depressed. I let myself
That's
go, and I
funny,
haven't made any
because
sort of
you and your
resolution to get back.
boyfriend you and your boyfriend not only know what I look like, you know where I live, because people like Turd and people like I can't even begin to tell you how many phone calls I used to get from listeners to your show, even though I never actually gave my phone number out.
I don't even recognize your
you're all-
voice.
I don't know your voice. I don't know who the
Richie
hell this
Rich,
is.
I don't believe you.
Okay.
But who did you think I was when
Skeeter,
you
the
saw
troll.
the phone number?
We do not give up.
Who?
It just says anonymous. I zoomed in
Okay.
on my eyesight.
I thought you were
should
Skeeter the troll.
Forgive me that I made an insinuation to the last time I called your show, which was
When
a
was
few
that?
days ago. Other hosts were on, and nobody answered my phone call because I know you know who this is because I didn't block my phone number.
If this was a few days ago, we weren't on the
Sure,
air.
you know who I was calling in. But if I'm calling you a liar, well, forgive me, because I would never call somebody a liar like your boyfriend did, Bonnie.
My boyfriend, I'm
lucky
married. I don't know who you're talking about.
He's a little boy. Anybody who would marry, forgive me, I would actually think you were Sarah's little sister from the intellect that you I don't even want to begin.
I would think you're a loser from your lack of being able to speak.
I don't have the time of day to tell you how insanely stupid you are as a fellow human being. And
you sound like you can't even look someone in the eyes when you're talking. When you're like, insanely stupid.
When you talk, there's a lot of things I actually want to say, Bonnie, but when you talk
you've been
about
talking a lot.
When you talk about
Spit it
somebody
out.
being, are they a legitimate target if they're coming from the east into Ukraine to shoot at mass murderers? No, they're not a legitimate target any more than a cop. If your house was under home invasion, a cop tried to shoot at the home invader. They're not a legitimate target. They're defending liberty, which is in your show's name.
If the cops were training the home invaders, they would be a legitimate target.
Liberty is not in Free Talk Live.
You call Vladimir Putin a leader instead of a gangster and a mass murderer? That shows the intellect of which goes through your brain cells.
Was this about like the first segment? Because I never said anything about, coming from the east.
Bonnie, yes. Somebody coming from the east that is defending Ukraine's people's right to breathe free from a gangster army, they're not legitimate targets. And anybody that would defend a Russian murdering anybody in Ukraine,
I never defended
is an
Putin.
idiot. No, when you ask the question if they're a legitimate target, you haven't given any thought.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I feel like we're talking to a schizophrenic lunatic, seriously. And that's a horrible way to end the 2025, just like an awful call. And of course you call him
Should have just
Star
listened
69.
to me and left him off the first time.
Yeah, but that wasn't my fault because you thought it was Skeeter.
I did.
I would rather talk to Skeeter. What a lunatic.
But yeah,
seriously.
I don't recognize the voice. I don't.
I don't recognize
he didn't
the
share
voice.
his name.
No, I don't.
And he said that there were other. He said there were other people on, so he wasn't even saying, like.
I don't know when that was.
Talking about Will, we were just saying that Putin said that he was gonna start attacking European soldiers. That he's the one who's saying they were legitimate targets.
And we only
Who said from the east?
We only do 2 live shows, and it's Saturday and Sunday. So if he was listening a couple of days ago, I don't know what he was listening to.
Well,
and he didn't share that either.
Forgetting that, dog crap.
Happy
call.
New Year!
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! And thanks for listening to Free Talk Live. Thanks for being supporters of us and not being like that guy. And see you next year. And more Free Talk Live at freetalklive.com. Thank you. Peace.
This hour of Free Talk Live is brought to you by Dash Digital Cash. Dash is the cryptocurrency designed to be used for spending. Tired of the ever-inflating US dollar? You can live your life on Dash instead with some handy websites. BitRefill.com has been accepting Dash for years and has a ton of big-name retailers and brands including grocers, gas stations, phone refills, Amazon, and even prepaid MasterCards. Plus, many of their gift cards are available at a discount. But what about paying your bills? Spritz.finance can do that, and they can send dollars to your bank account in case you still